Hello, everybody. I'm AJ Schlotterbeck, and this is Jackal on Jackal from Tampa Bay Superspeedway. Longest race of the season, flat track. It's going to be a lot of excitement. This place, you're getting damn near 200 miles an hour in the corners. I am joined by Cole today, along with our special guest commentator, Stampy. Got a good crew here, and it's going to be a fine race, Cole.
Yeah, I'd say about with how much drivers we have here and how it's going to be decently competitive, especially throughout the turns with how fast we can get these things up to.
And with a flat track like this, we're going to see this track's 30 feet wide. They're going to be like 4 or 5 wide at some points. It's going to be very aggressive racing. 12-car field today because it is a plate track technically. But this is going to be the fastest race of the season. They're going to be going towards 200 miles an hour at the end of the back straightaway. So, guys, let's just get right into the meat of it. Who are y'all picks to win?
My pick for today is going to have to be Good Square. He is appeared. Oh wait, is Good Square driving? That I do not know.
He is indeed.
He is not driving.
Oh, then I'll go with Remy because I've taught him a couple stuff about super speedways and how everything works around them.
Good Square is driving. He's
if he is driving, I'd say Good Square.
No, he's in second. He's in the second pit stall.
Oh.
Yeah, he's just on his car.
Oh.
They're not quite ready to get started.
I'll just pick both of them then, Good Square and Remy.
But I'm going to make a dark horse pick here. I like Blackstone Warden's chances. He's a good driver. And I feel like that if he, manages the aggression and manages to keep his car where it needs to be on track, I feel like he's got a pretty good shot here today. It's just a feeling. I feel like he's in a good spot. It's going to be a long race. Tire wear is going to be what makes the difference today, and I think that Blackstone Warden's got a chance. So, it is the longest race of the season, north of 300 miles. Do you guys think that we're going to see a lot of retirements today like we have in some of the other races this season with engines blowing and people getting laps down and rage quitting? Or what do y'all think is going to be happening on the endurance front?
I'd say maybe 2 to 3 DNFs. Probably maybe 2 from running out of fuel, I would say. But otherwise than that, I'd say there would only be 1 DNF from rage quit. Because all these guys know each other. They have raced each other for the entire season, and I don't think anyone's going to be a lap down here anytime soon.
Yeah, it's gonna be a strategy race, definitely, because it is a really, really big track. It's kind of hard to even show it on the camera. This track is 3 miles long, according to what we've been told. So it's going to take quite a while. Now, pace car is off, and we're going to start moving off of pit road. And this race is going to be a long one. So strap yourselves in, folks. And we're already bumping the pace car and slinking a little bit. It'll be interesting to see what exactly does happen in the early laps if there's going to be a lot of aggression. It is a 300-mile race on a flat, fast track. And they're going to be running about 200 miles an hour in the corner. So even if there's no caution, this race is going to take at least an hour and a half just by some simple mathematics. Now, what I'm curious about, Cole and Stampy, is there going to be a big one? Because this track is flat as heck, and unlike Daytona and Talladega, it is very, very wide. I mean, Dega's pretty wide, but this track's got at least another lane on top of it compared to Dega. But you can't really use that lane to make any moves. I mean, you're only going to be able to make moves on the bottom because it's so flat. It's definitely a unique track. So do you guys think that there's going to be a big one today, or do you think it's going to be multiple small races, or multiple small wrecks that are going to cause cautions to come out?
I would have to say it's going to be the big one because they're all going to be pretty close up together since nobody's going to be able to overtake that well.
I'm actually going to disagree here. I've raced on this track before back in Division 2, and while there's always a possibility of a big one happening on any track, I just believe that as long as people maintain an inside line, the track is going to be a little bit more forgiving. Of course, I do believe that with tires being shredded on literally every lap, there is a big chance for a big one to happen. But I am going to hope for just, smaller wrecks since I do believe that this track is a bit more forgiving.
Yes. Now, thank you. We would like to welcome Stampy here. He's not usually a commentator, but he's having a crack at it, and it's always nice having someone to conversate with because a 300-mile race, my voice would be somewhere off in the Netherlands. I meant to say the netherworld, but I guess It's Dutch now. If I didn't have no one else here. So it's very nice to have you guys here. I think it's going to be a good race. Here we are coming to the tri-oval to start this thing. Trainwreck 7 has the lead and the pole position. And they're going to come to the restart zone. 300 miles, so strap yourselves in. And the green flag is out.
Let's see who tries to make any risky moves here into turn 1.
Now, you say that you've raced here before, right, Stampy?
Indeed.
Now, do wrecks tend to wash out towards the outside wall here like they usually would on a plate track, or are they going to kind of, because it's so flat, are they going to stay just about where they started?
I mean, in my experience, the draft package was definitely a lot different. So, what happened back in Division 2 was tires were not as shredded, not nearly. So definitely the cars have been, Icky's definitely developed them a lot more and gotten them more realistic. Mainly wrecks happened back in Division 2 when someone did try to overtake, because bump drafting was a huge thing and not as much as side drafting is now. I think we're going to see a lot of overtakes when someone starts to slide up and someone takes advantage of the side draft. However, during the tests of Tampa Bay, I noticed that a lot of the side drafting happened when someone was on the right side of a car. So unless something has changed, there might be a lot more overtakes on the outside than on the inside.
Yeah, I think that might be a possibility. Looks like the outside line really fell off, though. We've already got one guy out of the draft. And, of course, it's my pick, Blackstone Warden, who's fallen out. Maybe just making a call to go back there. But I would like to mention that right now, these guys are... I was told they'd be getting up towards 200 miles an hour. We're not quite seeing that right now. They're still a little bit lower than that, getting up towards 198 going into the final corner there. And we finally have a move here. The 11 car gets pushed underneath the 28. The transitions here are what are actually worrying me, because they are not smooth as we go 3 wide, 2 deep, almost 4 wide. And, you know, I think these transitions are going to be a little bit sketchy because they do kick the car up because they're not very smooth. As you can see, if you just watch them when they come into trial, everyone's car really gets unstable. I feel like once you get on old tires, you're starting to slide around a little bit. That's going to be really challenging to deal with. I feel like that might be a cause of a couple of cars spinning around. I didn't think I'd say, you know, self-spin on a plate track, but that might actually happen at some point today. You've also got to watch the temperatures too, because a lot of these guys, we have self-spin on a plate track.
Control.
And he keeps his foot in it, but he's shredding those tires.
Oh yeah, he is demolishing those tires. My God.
Yeah, that is very bad.
Just reversing on these cars can literally shave off 6% of your tires. So I could imagine he's in the 80s right now with those tires.
Yeah, that car is shredded right now. Somehow his tires are still on 99 according to my GUI here. But I don't think the GUI is working because the fuel is not deducting. So I actually don't know what tire where he is on, because we have some technical difficulties with the display here. So I actually don't know where he is sitting on tires, unfortunately. So we'll have to... If one of you guys could take one for a team and rejoin real quick to check that, that'd be nice.
I will.
All right. And they're 2x2 now in the middle of the pack. Actually, 2x3, sorry. 3 deep, 2 wide. As the 11 goes out to the outside wall, smacks it hard. Jeez. He didn't seem to even get a bump there. It looked like he just shot up to the outside wall, missed the corner. Might have been lag.
At least you're
now they're 3 wide for 5th place. All right, is the GUI working for you now?
No dice. I'm still getting labels on the fuel and tire wear.
All right, mine just says, well, if you select somebody on the spectate, all it shows me is 994595 on everybody. Doesn't give me any play.
Same here for me.
So it's going to be a little bit harder to do some strategy calls. We'll probably dial up one of the drivers if we get a caution and just ask them how the strategy call is going, try and figure that out. But right now, the 4 car is in control of this race. Chris Bald Paul, I mean, he's a really good driver. He's had a very strong run so far here today. And we're only 5% through the race right now, so there's still a lot that can change, but he's certainly giving himself a chance right now. And this pack is starting to get strung out. Icky was talking about this with me before the race. These guys are going to get strung out really well compared to most plate tracks. You know, they're going to get really laced out. There's not going to be a huge pack after a while. It's going to be, you know, maybe a couple of different packs as cars start to wear out their tires and really just demolish the tires here. That's a big thing. And they're also going to have to pit for fuel as well. And I don't know how many pit stops it's going to be. I think it's going to be between 3 and 5. Maybe more than that. I don't know. But there's definitely going to be a lot of pit action going on. Now, Cole, what are you seeing back there in the pack right now? What's going on back there?
Well, Remy was actually able to still stay in draft to catch back up, but your pick, Blackstone Warden, was still falling back. So not really major changes back here besides if you saw Chris Paul actually fell back too. So now Joel's attempting to chase, not Chris Paul. No Numbers actually fell back, so now Joel is actually trying to chase up on the first place.
All right. Thank you for the update. Right now, Cole, do you think these guys are being a little bit too aggressive, or do you think that they're running right where they need to be? Because I think right now, everybody's kind of running safe because we're only 10 laps, not even 10 laps in.
Well, I mean, I definitely think they're trying to be safe right now because when you get in with the D1 drivers, they probably have learned by now that you don't actually want to try to go full out at the start. So they might have some people still conserving fuel for all we know, and some others just stepping on gas pedals everywhere. So.
Now we got this 3-car. I don't know how you. It wouldn't be a tandem. It'd be a triptym. I don't know. Of cars up here, they're getting actually a little bit of separation from the pack. The front 3 with Chris Bald, Paul, Joel Musa, and Zane DeTrain. And if these guys are able to actually get away from the pack, they might actually be able to start saving their tires a little bit more, and really get in control of this race. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with that, because these guys are really tightly packed, and they've actually pulled out a tiny bit of a gap on the cars back there that are still too wide.
It would also appear that Blackstone has apparently crashed. Not into the wall, but from the entirety of the game.
Yes.
So his car will be somewhere around here, so the drivers will get a little bit surprised on the backstretch.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if he can get back in. Hopefully he can, but he's had a pretty bad day so far. Of course, because I picked him, And we got a 4-car group at the front of the field right now, and they are driving really, really well currently.
Joel tried to go down the inside, but he appeared to lost traction through that. Would have been cool to see try to see Chris defend from someone, but as of right now, I don't think we're going to get anywhere close to that.
Yeah, I think right now everybody's just kind of running down laps. There's a lot of laps to go still. Yeah. And a lot of chances for things to go wrong, a lot of chances for people to make mistakes. But right now, everybody kind of in one line, one groove. And now we've got, first time I've seen someone hit over 200, Zane DeTrain gets up to 202 and moves out of the groove, actually. The 88's going to make a move here. And no one else going upside, trying to help Zane.
The 48 car of Trainwreck's actually starting to try to make his way back up the field. I think he's going to try to stay in midfield, though, as to not waste that much fuel.
And his tires are absolutely shot, I have to imagine, after that spin, but he's still making moves. And this track has a reputation as a tire killer. It's flat and flat out. And that is a deadly combination for rubber. It just shreds the tires. But we're already seeing people lift a lot in the corner. And just a lot of lifting in the pack, So it'll be interesting to see what happens with the tire wear. It'd be nice if we knew when these boys were going to pit. But unfortunately, the GUI is not working. And Blackstone Warden continues to have issues as his car isn't moving. He's actually on the apron there, just in front of the leaders. And he gets it moving now.
Good Square actually fell back to the back of the pack here. He's trying to fight with Baseball Freak. I
do wonder if he's just trying to get back there and run around. I mean, Extreme Motorsports has been so strong this season, Good Square's team, and he's always a factor. He is one of the best drivers on the platform. And he certainly proved it. I mean, from what I've seen of him recently, I mean, he is still an incredibly good driver.
Well, you sort of have to expect that from how much experience he has. I mean, he's not only a team manager, team owner, but he drives himself and hosts practices and does everything. Because I used to be a part of the team, so.
Yes. And Stampy, do you have anything for us right now?
Well, I also have to commend Good Square, especially since I'm a new team owner and I haven't gotten my bearings yet on how to to properly manage a team, and I was also on Extreme Motorsports back when I was in RSCAR, and I think that he's a phenomenal team owner and even an even better driver. and I'm doing my best to learn from him as someone who's been, you know, I believe the longest team owner in Jackal history right now.
He's got to be up there. I think he might be
Yeah.
the longest team owner on the history of like, Roblox. I can't think of many people have owned teams longer than him. Maybe Brian. Team's older than my team. Like, actually, I don't know. My team's from 2016. That'd be close.
Alright, well, yeah, but
I mean, there are some guys who have been around forever, but this guy's been around forever, and he's definitely showed it. I mean, he is considered one of the best for a reason. He is a very good driver. And tracks like this are the kind of place, and we do have a caution now. Not sure what that's for, but the caution is out. They're going to race back to the line. The pits are closed.
Blackstone is flipped on turn 1.
Yeah, and now they're going to race back. I don't know who's going to get it. I think it's the 11 just by an inch. Yeah, he's just going to edge him out. That was really close there.
Well, that lap we actually were able to see like 3 times the first place owner check got switched because Joel was actually finally able to overtake Chris on turn 1 and then lost to Remy around, I think it was turn 3 and 4 there.
Mm-hmm. Yep, and that's our first wreck, and now that's going to probably take everyone down pit road as Blackstone Warden flipped into the wall there. I can probably, I'd probably tell you what happened. I assume he just was on the bottom, spun up the track, and slammed the wall. I mean, we already saw Trainwreck wreck in a very similar manner, if that is what happened. And I guess it is possible to get loose through these corners. I mean, they are long, flat corners, and you're modulating the throttle to try and save tires and fuel, so you're definitely going to have a chance of spinning. So it'll be interesting to see what happens from here. Now, I'm just curious as to what you guys think about strategy right now. Do you guys think he's coming out and pit, especially Stampy because he raced here before? You think it's time to pit, or?
I believe that, especially during cautions on these big tracks, that you should be, you should pit at any opportunity you're given. Especially when your tires, they won't last you like 20 laps, 30 laps. You'll go down to 70%, 60%, and then you have to start. You're gonna have to start letting off monumentally in order to not slide up and maintain position. So I believe that every single yellow flag should be taken as a pit opportunity.
I'd agree with that generally, but here I think maybe it's a good idea to try and leapfrog some people, especially if you save tires well. I don't know what people's tires are on right now, so I can't really actually give any input on that because the GUI ain't working. But the pace car now going 190 miles an hour will come to pace speed in the tri-oval, and everyone's going to come and get 4 tires and fuel. And this pit cycle is going to shake things up, but it is a pack race after all, even though the track is completely flat. It is a pack race, so it is definitely going to be a case of, making good pit decisions and, honestly, quite a bit of luck. Now, Cole, you were talking about answering any questions from chat during cautions. You want to try your hand at that right now?
Well, it doesn't really appear that we would have any questions, but another thing I would like to do is we actually have Colby now deciding to join the party for the rest of the year.
Speed Colby coming in.
Blackstone actually going to be able to unlap himself because he's staying outside of the pits for a while. So, otherwise than that, everyone pitted except for Colby and Blackstone, so you might be able to see your driver get back up there.
Lovely.
Yeah, if you're in chat and you want to ask any questions, I will try and answer them, by the way, during these caution periods. And we have a lot of expertise in the booth. I mean, I'm a terrible driver who won some championships back in the day. Cole it's Cole. And then we also have Stampy, who's a really, really decent driver. He's got a lot of experience, and he's very talented. Raced a lot here in Jackal. I'm more of a block car guy. I just see cars going around in circles, and I start talking, and people like it. So. But we'll definitely answer any questions during these caution periods if y'all want to ask them. So just ask away if you got any.
Is NASCAR MK? NASCAR, you were very okay. Which Chris Paul? Chris, from what we can see on the leaderboard, is currently. Can he get himself back up? He's currently in 10th place.
Yeah. He pit during the caution, same as everybody. And he also had a long pit stop. But when you're going to come out of pit road last anyways, you might as well just take your time, minimize mistakes, maybe grab yourself a coffee, go to the bathroom, maybe get something to eat.
Yeah. Chris is going to be retaking his position up in 5th, it looks like, when he's going. Otherwise,
sorry, Blackstone. Yeah, sorry. Blackstone Warden is what I meant. I forgot Chris was like up there before the caution came out. Yeah.
Are we getting a
That's
couple
on me.
questions now?
I mean, the only questions that I can mostly answer are like super speedways and road courses, just because.
Someone just asked, "What's the commentators predicting?" We're predict. What?
Okay, okay. So I'll go first. I originally predicted that either Good Square or Blackstone was gonna win, and that there wasn't gonna be any big ones, but I certainly am gonna keep my eyes out for those.
Yes, that was a very, very vague question, Isaiah.
Very broad.
Very broad. Somebody just asked, are any of us in Vixterity? I'm not going to advertise that guy's series by saying it on air.
I don't.
See, no, but none of us are in it, as far as I know.
I only do Formula 1 and everything that includes HSE because I can actually turn right.
Mm-hmm.
Someone just said, will you allow outside Jackal racers to race in League? We're not. We're not League admins. We're just a bunch of bozos who talk during the races. We're not really admins.
From what I know, I mean, you still have to go through the tryouts and everything to get a license. So.
Yeah, I mean, you can join Jackal. It's not like completely closed. There is a D2. I mean, these guys are really good, but like, there's a D2.
Everyone has a weakness.
Well, we are going to get back underway shortly here. With 12 cars on track now, back to the fuel cap. Only 10 of them on lead lap, however. I'd like to apologize to Chris Bald-Paul for thinking that he was in last. I was looking at the other gray car. He's actually in 6th place, so apologies to that.
There's Colby still unlapping himself.
Yep, getting them laps back.
Gonna be we're gonna start off here with it looks like to be Remy leading the race. So it's gonna be interesting to see how he defends because Remy usually tends to go on the aggressive side to defend. So.
So the pace car is going to peel off here down pit road, and it's going to be interesting seeing what happens here. We're only 13 laps into this race. This is a long race, folks. Really a test of endurance. And the pace car is going to peel off here. Any minute. There we go. So it'll be interesting to see here if Remy does defend aggressively, as you said, or if he just kind of, you know.
Well, I mean, we do have the first race leader Trainwreck right behind him, and then also Joel. The first 4 have all led at least at one point of the race, so it's going to be interesting to see what will happen.
Now the green flag is going to come out here. 41 gives the 48 a push, but it's not going to help him too much as the 11 gets a really good start. Everyone in one line. It's going to be interesting to see if anyone gets out of that line in the first corner. One car shoots to the high side, doesn't get anything. And that was Blackstone Warden. Sorry, that was not Blackstone Warden. That was, I believe, Good Square going up there. Yes, it was.
Baseball and Good Square,
yeah. And now they're 4 wide at the back, and they are losing a ton of ground to the guys at the front who aren't 4 wide. That's the danger of going 4 wide on this track because it's so wide and so flat. If you go up there without any help, you're going to fall back like a stone in the corners. And Trainwreck now just biding his time, gets a good push from the 41, doesn't take it though. It's probably going to be a good run coming off the corner at Remy, but I don't think they're going to really do much of it because it's lap 14 of 100. So, in a race like this, what is the mentality for you guys in a long race like this? Where you have to work on minimizing mistakes, and really it's a war of attrition. But on a plate track, and we have a car spinning.
Oh, Joel losing. Joel off.
What a save! Sideways there. It was just a bad push, I think. Got him in the quarter panel, got him sideways, and that's going to check a couple of cars at the back up. Trainwreck without anybody helping him behind him, he's going to tuck back in the draft. Back to my question. So what mentality, if you guys were driving in this race, what would you be thinking right now?
I would be thinking to just slap on Spotify, get the blues, and go out and have some fun.
But, mentality-wise, right? Is now the time to be pushing this early in the race, or do you think that, just save them tires? There's going to be more cautions, and everyone's going to have to pit multiple times. So is it worth actually saving right now, or should you just push, try and get yourself into a good spot for the pit cycle or the caution so that you can come out ahead of people?
I would say maybe a little bit in between. Just try to keep it at least above 6 and try to save fuel. Keep yourself in draft. That's all you should do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
It's gonna
same
be
here.
interesting. It's gonna be really interesting here, though. I think the strategy game because they pit on around lap 10, and that's a tenth of the way through the race. And it seemed like some cars were already starting to have issues in the tires at that point. So it's gonna be interesting to see if we have anybody's tires completely go on them. And right now, Trainwreck got shuffled out of line by that 28 car, and he probably wants to get back up into that spot.
Numbers
He's
game
actually going to
out.
shove the 28 out of the groove, get back into second. Now they're side by side. The 11 actually doesn't know what to do here. He doesn't go up to block the 28. 48 shoves the 28 back out of line, brings the 4 with him, and 28 car is going to actually get shuffled all the way to the back of this pack. That's really unfortunate for him. You know, he was having a good run up there and just got shoved out of the groove. Kind of got bullied out of line there.
At least we're going to see a new challenger. 8K Isaiah actually in P4, so that's going to be fun to try to see who can get back, if he can get up there. But Remy's still holding and Trainwreck's still trying, but Chris has gained 2 positions out of P5 up to P3, so he is definitely trying to get back up to P1.
Yeah, I think the 48 car, I think he's thinking it's go time right now. As the 20 gets a really good push from the 41, he's going to bring 3 cars with him on the bottom, down below the 4 car. 48 car racing half a groove up as well. 20 might try and shove it underneath there. Run stalls out in the corner. I think they are starting to slide up a little bit on the tires already.
Yeah, we're already seeing some slide, doing some power.
Remy sliding up.
Now we have an update from Icky. Good Square is lagging. That's why he's so far back. He was 3 seconds back there. And that's unfortunate for him, as the 20 car is actually going to try and get underneath the 48, the new leader, Trainwreck.
Remy finally losing that inside, but he's going to have Joel there to help him.
Yeah, but the bottom lane's got more cars. And on a track like this, the bottom lane has more cars. The outside lane has no chance. Now, the outside lane might get more cars here, depending on what the 4 does. The 4 manages to get back up in that high side. The bottom might be hanging out to dry, yeah. Isaiah now trying to stick it out. If he can hold the lead until the corner, he might be able to keep it. 4 car comes back down for him. And I believe we've had a car wreck at the back, V. Colby. Actually, no, he's just getting back on track. I don't think he wrecked.
Ooh,
the 11 gets shoved out of line there.
Yeah, Remy lagged. He hit the wall.
Yeah. Yeah, that's unfortunate for him. He's already had 1 lag spike earlier in the race, coming into turn 1, and that's the second time that network conditions have affected him in a negative way. And that 20 car really trying to just stick it out on the bottom.
Yeah, the 88 and the 5 car of Baseball Freak are actually trying to get up here themselves. But now that we're seeing 4 cars around the outside, we might see Train being able to hold on or try to get Chris up there.
Yeah, now we're going to go 3 wide for 3rd place. And 28 car's going to try and stick his nose in there. Comes back down to the bottom, helps a 5. And now Trainwreck, you know, he's got to feel like he's all by himself right now. All right, we actually have a soundbite of what Remy said when he hit the wall. We'll try and listen to that. Now, my stream is actually, like, really laggy, so I actually can't hear what he said. Does anyone else have the stream up, and can they hear what the soundbite was?
I'm checking.
We'll try and get that for you. Some technical issues of mine. My internet's not doing amazing right now, so we'll see about that. But the 48 car's got a really nice advantage here. He's working the lanes, doing a really good job of holding that lead. I mean, Trainwreck's good at this. He's not fresh, you know.
Yeah, I didn't hear much of it either.
Yeah, I didn't hear much.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously not happy about, you know, hitting the wall. You know. 28 car is actually going to try and send underneath the 48.
Well, at least he's making his way back up the field right now.
Yeah, here he comes. He's actually got the inside. Now Gabe back to the lead. And he's proving himself to be a solid driver. You know, this is really a good performance. Did he have a previous username? I actually haven't seen this.
His previous username was numbers and no numbers.
Oh, he's no numbers. Okay.
And numbers 2 seasons ago won the Division 2 championship.
All right. We got the experts. Yeah, I was gonna say he did really well. I believe he won. Was he the guy who won the duel? But his team, like the other guy, he won the duel subbing for someone. Got his teammate on the front row and then missed the race because he lost his duel.
Well, that's gotta suck.
Was that him? It was either him or...
I have no knowledge of that. So.
I do remember that was only like what 5 races ago, and it feels like a century ago. Oh, time flies. Now they're still 3 wide back here. Yeah, no numbers. Very good player. I was wondering. There's no way this guy just took no numbers' job as a player. Thank you for the help on that. We got guys 3 wide at the back now. These guys are really racing hard in the pack.
Yep. It's gonna mostly try to benefit Trainwreck though to keep them ahead, but now they're gonna start slowly gaining up.
Now Zane says that he's actually got tire issues. He's at 50% tire, and that just tells you what these guys are going through right now with the tire wear. Now he's back, way back. You know, he's way out of the group.
Yeah.
But that just tells you what the tires are at for these guys right now.
Might start seeing some pit strategies being made or unfolded. Which is definitely going to be interesting because with the pit strategies around this track, there's not much time you can really gain from coming out of pits. So.
Definitely. And unfortunately for some of these guys like Blackstone who don't have any teammates out there, it's going to be difficult to formulate a pit strategy.
Yep.
Now Trainwreck's actually got... He's got 7% better tires than everyone else, apparently, and that's why he's pulling away from everyone. So that's what, saving tires can do for you. And it's interesting, because in the first run, we saw him spin, So, and that's why everyone's all shuffling out of line, is because some of these guys can't make the corner going as fast as they'd like. And even in the trial, where we're seeing the 5-car slide up the track, it's baseball freak. 41's going to come down the inside.
Yeah, Joe pulled on to the inside there and then let it go on the number 5 who was trying to boost, I think, his teammate, the number 8, the 88 of Scholl. So we're definitely going to maybe start seeing the drivers separate around here because a lot of fighting in the tiny packs that they formed.
And definitely, and another thing I want to add is the perfect throttle control on Trainwreck's part. And how it's adding, it's playing a part in how he's pulling away from these guys. Look at that. Look how he's hugging the yellow.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just watching his throttle right now. He is being very... That's got to wear out your middle finger on the W key, the way he's working that thing. But it's working. He's keeping the car stable. I wonder if that's why he spun earlier, is because he's running that car almost perfectly. But that, when you're running the car almost perfectly, a tiny mistake gets magnified, So...
Definitely.
The better the driver, the bigger the mistake.
As they get in the corner, you're starting to see guys slide up the track, and not be able to get the throttle down the way they want because of the tires.
It's also about timing. Like when Trainwreck first spun, I noticed that he let off a tad bit too early, and when he was trying to oversteer to compensate, he slid. And when you start to get, into these later laps and your tires start to get more shredded, timing is everything when you have to start slowing down or to not slide up and keep that low line.
And we see 8K Isaiah actually slide up. 28 also slides up. No numbers. He's going to door him here. He's going to have to get back down if he wants to block the 41's run, but his tires just won't let him get back down there. 41's going to take second place away. And that's what sliding up does to you. This track is a brutal track. It's very unforgiving. When it comes to making a small mistake, you go all the way back. You see the 20 cars is going to drop all the way to the back of the field here. In the 41, Joel Musso really in a good spot. And I got to say, his throttle control is not looking that amazing compared to Train and the 11 car. I mean, he's really just... I mean, it's interesting how different guys try and get the car in the groove, and different throttle inputs. Some guys are lifting off a lot more than others and not really feathering the throttle at all. Just kind of letting the car coast through the corner. Other guys are really feathering the throttle, trying to get as much throttle time as possible in the corner, get as much out of it as possible. But right now, Trainwreck's tires are starting to get worn up, is what I'm being told, but I don't see it. Looks like he's doing just fine to me. And a little bit of lift on exit there.
Well, I mean, he probably has great control because Trainwreck isn't only a NASCAR driver. Trainwreck's in a lot of the leagues that I'm in, consisting mostly of Formula 1 and stuff like IMSC, where timing is key and we have to deal with a lot of throttle control throughout the turns. So,
the 11 is starting to catch up to him, but Trainwreck once again starting to pull off a little bit again. Getting out on his own up there probably was not helping his tires at all.
Yeah.
And now he's just got to try and maintain that lead.
I don't think that was helping Chris any better, though, because Chris was chasing down everyone. So, but now he's trying to get some help from Gabe to overtake, but now he's going to...
No, he doesn't get any help. He goes outside. No one comes with him. Might be able to make an outside line overtake work, though, as these tires wear out. And maybe a middle groove starting to appear. Maybe. I think it might be possible. Because he's able to get to the throttle a little bit better on exit. But I don't think so.
Help Trainwreck?
Yeah, Trainwreck's got to make a choice here. I think he's got to come back down. There's no way he's going to be able to stop the 11 getting through. Being on the high side. He's going to get a push here from the 41. It's going to be close if he's able to get back down for the corner. And he's not going to try and make a cut. Yes, he will make a cut. Trying to come back towards the bottom. I don't think he's going to be able to cut off the 11's run, though. The 11 gets to the quarter panel. A bit of a side draft there. He's going to get back alongside him. And now neither of these guys have help. And the 11 has the rights to the corner. So it's going to be interesting to see what the 48 does. If he tries to drop back and get right behind the 11 or just stick it out on the high side and hope he gets some help. But right now, he's kind of hung out to dry. Same with the 11. They're at the mercy of what this pack does. The 11 does have an advantage for being on the inside. 48 gets a push. And they're really stacking up at the back there. It's going to kind of kill the run the high side had there. And now Trainwreck, who just a couple laps ago had the biggest lead we've seen anyone have this race, is now stuck back in second on the outside line. Not where he wants to be, guys.
That's why Remy was one of my main picks for winning, because you can see how aggressive he's going through the turns, just trying to take down Train and Joel. Dude is currently trying to be a one-man army all by himself.
Apparently there's a soundbite of V. Colby lagging right now. Now, I don't know when the soundbite actually starts playing. But it's playing right now, so I'll shut up for a minute.
To turn left on you if you stop. I'm going to turn the left.
Clear wide for first.
I don't know where I am. I'm frozen.
Trying decides to help. Chris.
All right, now that was a great soundbite that I couldn't hear. But I am glad that we have a soundbite of him lagging. But we have 4 wide action for first. You know, it's never a good time to cut away from the action because that's exactly when the most action happens, you know? As they go 4 wide for first, the 5 car actually has an advantage here. And we have a flip at the back of the field. Zane to Train upside down. And I believe that will be a yeller. He is upside down in the corner in turns 1 and 2. And the caution is out. That will be the race back. Baseball Freak does take it. We had some great racing right there.
Commander and Remy actually fallen back a lot, but I'm surprised Blackstone can keep up with all of them despite being so far in the back.
And somebody, what was he thinking, right into him. What a great arc break there. But yeah, unfortunate for Zane to Train. Guy just flipped over. I was watching the whole sequence.
And the red flag comes out.
Yeah. The guy just had a blowover in turn 1 and 2 and went up into the wall. Didn't look intentional to me. It looked like he just spun and missed the corner or lagged or something. He just hit the wall a ton, got up and over and flipped multiple times. And now some people are voting for a shutdown now. We'll see. But in the meantime, guys, what do you guys think of what's happened so far in this race?
I think that there's been some really nice green flag racing going on. And I am very fascinated at the throttle control from some of these drivers, specifically from the number 48 Trainwreck and number 11 Remy.
Yeah, I gotta agree with that. The green flag racing is honestly just awesome to watch. How many, like, with the battles for first place, you can see that Train just gapped everybody and then just slowly started to fall back, which is just heartbreaking. But then you were able to have a lot of race winner changes there. So I'd say at this point, I really have no predictions because with the evidence that's been given to me so far, I say it's anybody's race. Because we have people that are not great throttle control still being up there. You have Chris Paul and Remy chasing down everybody. You have Joel in known numbers, who has been really consistent drivers throughout this. And you might even see Blackstone get back up there once. So,
all right. Thank you for that. Right now, they are currently trying to figure out if there's going to be a shutdown or not. Roblox is having some issues, apparently, which is not exactly what you want to hear, given what happened last weekend. Yep. If you recall. I really do wish we could have that whole, like that throwback graphic, where it's like last week. Just have a nice gif of the site crashing for, 3 days almost?
Yep.
It was near 72 hours. That was the longest I've ever seen the site down, and I've had my account since 2013. So...
Well, I mean, with the spare time that we've been given, we can answer some chat questions, because Zavi48 has some questions, and Ryan Thompson also asked if he can meet one of the drivers after the race. That is a fat maybe, because we have...
he wants to meet Commander Remy. I mean, don't we all want to meet Commander Remy?
I mean, Commander Remy's my buddy, so...
Commander Remy, what amazing. And one guy said that he is... I'm going to quote this directly. This man has 92 wins, 131 top fives, and 4 championships. He's not bragging though.
Damn, that's crazy. But
and also, if he races this league, he will be pushing. And sometimes there's a space there. He is call the Bill Elliott of all leagues.
That is stupid.
Yeah.
Here's the thing.
I hate to insult the audience.
I hate to insult the audience, but here's the thing. NASCAR isn't the only racing thing.
Okay.
You have no clue if you're going to be able to do the same exact thing in IndyCar, Formula 1,
yeah, exactly.
championships.
Why would you, if you're going to compare yourself to a great NASCAR driver, why Bill Elliott? I love Bill Elliott, right?
I don't even know
but
who he
really,
is.
Like, not Dale or Richard Petty. I mean, if you have won 131, or if you've won 92 races, you could probably call yourself Richard Petty, right? I mean, come on.
I mean,
really?
it sort of depends on what races they won.
I don't care how bad the leagues were. If you really won 92 races, I mean, you can call yourself the Richard Petty of all leagues if you want to.
I've won.
Stop you.
I've won 103 races against my cousin, who just happens to be 3 years old. Doesn't matter. I technically
a win is a win. A win is a win, sir.
Never hold back, never hold back, no matter who your opponent is.
Exactly. If you play down to your competition, you will probably look like an idiot. I don't know. There's a quote about that. Let's bring our good friend Stampy in here. Stampy, do you have any insights into what it's like sitting during a long red flag in Jackal? Because I've never been in a league that does these, so I mean, maybe you can give us some insight.
I mean, it's mainly just lag. People having issues with freezing, and the server starts to lag, and you start to have those freeze frames, or as we call it, slow motion, because you start to run through the track. It's as if you're running through a movie. And I've never been through a red flag longer than 10-15 minutes. But I mean, it's also a good time just to take a breather. You still got a lot of racing left to do, and it's also a good opportunity to fix whatever issues are occurring in the race.
I would agree with that. I mean, I host a league, and it's not a good league, but it's okay. And we don't usually when people start lagging in my league, I'm a much more, I want to say I'm harsh, but I usually just tell them to fix it during green flag. It's not my fault you're lagging. I'm not the reason you have Comcast internet. But these cars, I understand. These cars are so dense with scripting and technology that, they are going to cause a little bit of strain on the server. And I understand that. That's part of the reason why we don't let fans into the server here, because, it would cause even more lag, and that's not really what you want.
Yeah, I
Now-
remember your league. I still need somebody to make my car for me.
Just make it yourself.
I don't
Now
know
we also
how
have
to
some
make
great quotes in chat. Do you mind if I read chat for a moment here?
Go
One man says, "I call myself myself. I'm not calling myself a NASCAR driver when it's keyboard racing. I racing and race NR 2003 on my wheel, but no." I agree with that man. And his name is Bear in German. Also, Smalls is here. You.
Oh,
If that's Smalls. If you're not Smalls, I'm sorry.
yeah, if you are Smalls,
If you are Smalls,
suck.
boo. We don't
Yeah,
like
boo.
Smalls. Boo.
Ooh, Smalls sucks.
And NASCAR's MK says, "I have 1,000 1v1 wins in Jackal Daytona." What a Chad. That would... What a man.
Hey, Cream,
What a
say
man.
that
1v1
all.
on Daytona. That's impressive, you know. I think what we should really do is 1v1s on, like, Zinjoltis on NR, you know. That track's 5 miles long. So, you know, a 1v1 there, both guys start, and that track has grip lanes. I mean, that would actually be really interesting. Be a real test of who can pin their throttle further to the fore. We have another question here. This one, I'm going to let you answer this one, Colby. Are you Smalls 21? Oh, you asked that. I thought someone was asking if we were Smalls. I mean, that's almost offensive, being asked if you're Smalls, you know? Do we have any other questions? Do we have any actual questions in chat?
Yeah.
Yeah. Your last name is Bear? Yeah, my last name's Schlotterbeck, alright? You think you got it tough. It was worse. Before they came to America, it was pronounced Schlossenberg.
Fun. My last name.
Thank God they changed it to Schlotterbeck. You are Smalls? Nice.
Ew, Smalls.
The Heinz Cups. Well, I didn't want to accidentally name drop my league that I'm not advertising here, but you know what? Yeah, that is the name of it.
His league.
And the winner gets a bottle of ketchup. And, like, you know, I wish they gave you an actual Jackal. Like, you know.
What is a Jackal? Isn't that like a
Jackal is like
The dog.
it's a canine of sorts.
Oh.
It's just look up Jackal and then look at images. It's one of those. They're like it's like a coyote crossed with a wolf is what it looks like. They're very interesting. I've seen a Jackal before. They're very cool.
Don't join
They have them at the
AJ's
Omaha
league,
Zoo.
though. Don't join AJ's league though. It sucks. I won on debut.
That was my other league. That was a road course. That's not my fault.
No, that was the oval. Remember the one with the lot of... I only drove the oval because I didn't have any other car.
What track was it?
I don't know. It was the one... It was very short and everyone kept crashing into each other and then Term called someone the N-word.
Oh my god. Yeah. That we don't go there anymore, I don't think. Yeah, that's Coca-Cola. That's AJ's favorite track, though. We had to put it on the schedule. He loves it.
Yeah, and
There are some great... There are a lot of really great instances. We have a question. We have a question from Bayer. Do you guys own Tampa Bay Super Speedway? No. Cole, do you own it?
Nah, my great grandfather definitely owns it though.
He's dead. He can't own it.
Oh, well, darn.
Oh,
We also have another question. Will you accept
Smalls.
non-busy drivers in Jackal leagues like me?
he's asking if
Zabby-
non-Discord drivers... No.
No.
It's a Discord server.
You are required. Even if we did, you would literally miss every race and also VC because you are required to be in VC at all times. You're required to follow signings. You're required to follow announcements, and you're required to keep up to date with the server.
Yes. This man just said, "I will beat you, mate." That
Challenge
is
me
a
to Road
terrorist
America.
threat.
I will.
You can't threaten to assault commentators.
I will freaking beat
Who
you.
else this guy think he is? Kurt Busch?
I
Not
will.
Bob Pockrast.
I will beat you at Road America, any super speedway,
Okay,
or any HSE car.
Now you're just giving him attention. Now, this is the real question by Smalls. AJ, why are you gay? I've never actually been told. I'm not going to answer that. Cole can answer it for me. Cole, here you go.
He's gay because I'm hot.
No, Jesus, I'm outie.
To be
God.
honest, I have no clue.
Dang. Also, this is a long red flag.
Yes,
Yeah.
it is.
NASCAR's MK almost beat Cole at Road America. Yeah, Cole's a road course ringer. He's a filthy Euro, you know.
Yeah, NASCAR, you CC'd and you literally gained 5 seconds on me either way, just because.
Isn't he literally in that GIF of somebody CCing at Road America? I think
he CC'd the last turn and gained
yeah,
3
there's a
seconds
GIF of
on
that
me.
somewhere. Yeah, good job, Cole. I also like to give someone corner cutting at Watkins Glen because that's how I run that track. All right, we are actually getting back under pacing, so that was a fun little break there, and we do have one more question or one more statement from Kreesum. I love Kreesum. He's one of my favorite drivers. I wish he was in my league.
Isn't his name
Kreesum,
Green?
he says that he is the Daniel Hemrick of Roblox. That's like just admitting you have depression.
I still have no clue who that person is because I don't watch NASCAR. I only watch Formula 1 and IndyCar.
No wonder you're so bad at commentating. No.
Hey, shut up. Roman Grosjean is a lovely driver.
I mean, isn't he French?
Yes.
All right. All things considered, we're going to try and get back into a more serious mood here, even though this is the longest caution I've ever seen in road racing. Besides that, I can think of one longer caution. There is a league I was in once. I wasn't in it, but it was Bob Inks' league, right? The Bob Inks league. And they had an entire, 2-hour-long caution because they realized halfway through the race that the draft script was broken.
I mean, I've had a caution for roughly a week because, so what happened was, a lot of the cars were broken, so we had to, we postponed the entire race by a week while we were still under caution. So everyone was just chilling, and then we just resumed racing, from the lap we started a week later.
When will B-Row be back? I don't know. Ask Bob. It's his league. I mean, I'm not Bob. I commentate over there, but that's more of a let's see how much I can embarrass Bob on YouTube thing, more than a let's commentate a racing league thing. I love Bob.
I'm pretty sure I'm a part-timer on BIRA.
I have a plate track license, but I never go.
Oh, I have every license because they gave me it because I was RS Car B class. Well, and then I also I also just annoyed the owner for every other license. So.
I mean, I don't want the other licenses. I don't really like the way these cars drive for Roblox.
They're fun. The races are really toxic.
Yeah, but I like the B-Roads races. They're fun to be in. All right, so we're actually going to be getting back going soon. We got guys unlapping themselves. We're gonna bring Stampy back in. Stampy, what do you think of what you've seen so far? I want to hear the driver opinion.
I think it's been really good. I hope that there's gonna be there's gonna be more long green flag runs. From a driver standpoint, if you're behind and there are really long green flag runs, then you start to curse them because you want a flag. You want a flag to come out. But I really like it when you're in the pack and you're driving for those long for those long green run flags, and you're just battling it out. And I am hoping that we don't see that many big ones. And I just need to see more racing. That's what I want to see.
Yeah, I mean, I think the racing's been really good when they're racing hard, but when they get in a line, it has been a little bit boring. But here's the thing. The way the tires were, this track is honestly really well designed. And I'm going to commend, I believe Icky made the track. If he didn't, then just direct this commendation to whoever else made it. This track is really well designed for a league that has tire wear scripts because the racing gets more entertaining as the run goes on and people slide up the track. They have to manage the tires. It's really unique. I can't say how much I like this track. This is a really fun track. And I'm very glad that it's on the schedule. I think it's actually a great idea. Flat super speedway where tire wear is what matters the most. It really reminds me of a track down in Brazil in Rio that closed down right before the Olympics. It's called Jackal. I can't speak Brazilian. I'm not Arthur Xavier, but it's basically like Indy, but a trapezoid, right? And it is so fun. You get up towards 180 on the end of the straightaways. It really reminds me of this, except for the corners are a lot tighter and it's not a tri-oval, but it's that kind of deal. Very fast, very flat, very hard. Tampa Bay is not a free model track to my knowledge, Bear. But really, it's a really good track. And I should probably ask Icky. Maybe you could buy it off him or something. I don't know. I mean, usually when I want a track that a really good league runs, I just go and harass Bob until he gives it to me. But don't do that to Icky. Icky's... Yeah. I can harass Bob. I've known him for 5 years. Pretty sure he owes me money. Or, like,
yeah.
There's some sort of like blood oath there. I think I saved his life in a previous like existence or something, you know? Like, I don't know. But we're getting ready to go green again here. Stampy, who's your pick now that we're halfway? I want both y'all's picks now that we're halfway.
I'm still going for Good Square, and and I'm still on Good Square, especially since he was the only one that didn't pit. And I want to see what his strategy is, going for these next 20 or so, 30 or so laps, hopefully, as we don't come across another caution. And I want to see what he's gonna do.
I think that he is screwed, but I like the call.
My prediction is still on Remy, because I know Remy can get back up there, and I know he can hold the spot for a little while. So
I think it's going to become clearer after the next pit cycle, because right now I think that we still just haven't seen quite enough actual racing to know who's able to time their moves, who's able to work the lanes when they're leading, and the green flag is out, and that was just a glorious jump by V. Colby. He is a lap down, so
he's doing a wave around, and he crossed the line at the same time.
Yeah, he's going to be right in front of these leaders, though, so he's going to have to really push to try and stay out in front of them. But Good Square now has the lead, has a good first corner. No calamities here. We saw earlier some people spin on the laps immediately after a restart, so watch for that. But here comes a 20 down the inside. Remy and Isaiah coming down the bottom. It looks like they're going to get to the lead. That's a Camaro getting pushed by a Toyota, for those of you wondering about manufacturer support today. It's been all over the place. A lot of people who we thought wouldn't have help have had help, and a lot of people you'd think would be getting help from their teammates just have not had their teammates there for them. So it's been kind of every man for himself. It's really hard to coordinate on a track like this, just because, only the bottom is honestly all that strong. As they come up on the lap car, they're going to have to try and get around them. They are 4 wide at the back of the field, and they are really trucking on the bottom right now. That outside line getting a little bit organized. 7 slides up into the 5, checks up and into the 28. Now the lap car is in front of Good Square here, or in front of AK Isaiah, excuse me, and holding that bottom lane. And now Isaiah is just going to go underneath that lapper. They're going to go 4 wide behind him, 2 deep. Let's see how that works. They're stacking up. This is some great racing, boys.
As you say, they're 4 wide.
Yeah, 4 wide. They might be able to go 5 wide here if things... Oh, no, we got 41 around. And he's going to save it, it looks like. That's going to stack everyone up. They're still 4 wide. 4 wide, 2 deep now. Wow, this is just incredible pack racing. The 11's got that lap car that he pushed out of the way, and now he's got AK Isaiah pushing him. Now they're going to try and get away from these guys. That lap car falling back through the pack. And it's going to be interesting to see what happens to him. So he gets swallowed up by these faster cars, and they all try to work their way around him. The leader now is Remy. Y'all are talking about Remy being a good pick to win this race. Do you guys think that he's being a little bit too aggressive and burning up his stuff, though?
No. Because, well, I mean, he is being, kind of aggressive, but I think burning up... I don't think it's really going to affect him that much.
Well, Remy wasn't my pick, but I think that he's keeping it balanced. He's going aggressive when he needs to. And based on me racing alongside him, I don't think he's going to go too aggressive until it really counts, but we'll see what's going to happen.
I think I agree with that. I mean, what I think right now is we have a car slapping the wall at the back. I believe that is V. Colby. Yeah, V. Colby slaps the wall. And we have information now that the engine temperatures are spiking for some of these guys. Who would have known when you're 4 wide and 3 wide and going single file, changing, and all this time you're in the draft. You're always behind someone. Your car's going to get hot, And a lot of these guys are apparently getting up towards the point where you'd be getting worried about that. We saw at Daytona a couple of cars just go out, just flame out really quickly after only a couple of laps to get the single file. So it'll be really interesting to see. I mean, even though they were 4 or 5 wide back there, they were still almost always behind someone. There wasn't really much room to get out of line and get some air on your grill, So that's going to be something we're going to have to watch, maybe some retirements. We haven't had any engines blow yet. We've had a couple of cars, have some wrecks, but nobody's blown it. But up at the front now, 8K Isaiah. Or not, sorry, 8K Isaiah. Sorry. Remy has got just a huge lead right now. And I wonder if he's racing a little bit too aggressively, but he's got the tandem with the 28 car there. And they are just scooting away from the field. And to your credit, you picked them, Cole. So you're probably feeling pretty good about your prediction right now, eh?
Yep. I'd say my prediction is probably set in stone now. So.
I mean, there's still a lot of laps to go. This is still 65 laps left in the race. We're not even halfway yet. This is a very long race. Longest of the season, 60 laps. Or sorry, 300 miles. And that's just a long race. I mean, 3-mile track, 100 laps. And with that long red flag, I thought they might actually shorten it, but they didn't. So this is still going to be an absolute war of attrition. But do you guys think that they're actually going to be able to reel in Commander Remy and No Numbers? Because they have just separated themselves from the pack so effectively.
Realistically, maybe not, but I hope so, because this sight of extreme motorsports cars dominating Tampa Bay is disgusting for me. Since when I raced at Tampa Bay, I had to try and hold off numbers in order to have my my teammate win the championship, and it didn't work.
I mean, Numbers is very strong on these tracks. I mean, Tampa is a track that it doesn't only test your plate racing skills. You know, it also tests the ability you have to save your stuff. It's not just a pure plate shootout, and this track's a very nice track. I really like the racing we've had so far today. But right now, I think everybody's just kind of thinking, you know, the tires are starting to wear. We're not even halfway yet, and I think the fatigue starts to set in. You might say, you know, fatigue. It's row racing. You're racing on a keyboard or a controller if you're, you know, bad. But the mental fatigue, you know, just looking at the same thing for 3 hours, running down laps, seeing that lap counter go down ever so slowly, it does start to wear on you a little bit. You know, you don't race as well. Your mind wanders. It's hard to focus. And, you know, it is hard to stay focused and keep on that grind for the entire race, but you have to if you want to have a chance at winning. So this is really a war of mental attrition. It's like a chess match. I know that people say plate racing is 200-mile-an-hour chess. This is like 200-mile-an-hour 4D chess, you know? It's that taxing on your head right now.
And now we see the number 28 and Remy start to switch the tandem up. Numbers is now in the lead, and Remy has fallen back to help him.
Yep, now we got a Ford car in front. Those two Fords are working together really well. Good Square and Trainwreck and that other Ford there. Fatigue's starting to set in for me too, apparently. I keep getting their names wrong. And now they're all running up by the wall. And
interesting choice. Sorry, go ahead.
They nearly turned each other there. They're pushing really aggressively the 48 and the 4. I wonder if they're going to try and make a move right now.
Yep, they're going to.
Oh, and they got uncoupled. That's going to hurt them here. But the 4 car is able to shove the 11 up the track. 48 is going to try and go underneath the 4, it looks like. Maybe he'll let him by. You know, watch the throttle input. He keeps it flat. He keeps it pinned down.
That choice by the XMS drivers to reverse the tandem, maybe due to Remy being low on tires or something, looks like it's come back to bite them, as now their tandem is broken.
Yeah, I think a big part of it, maybe it was the temperatures, because we have had temperature issues for some of these cars. That's why some cars are getting out of the draft, getting some air on the grill. And maybe that was the reason why. Or maybe it was just trying to change, spread the lap sled a little bit out here.
No, definitely there was a reason, and now it looks like it might hurt them.
Yeah, it's hurting them. I think it was honestly to save that engine, and because I think they're probably getting hot, pushing all that time. And now it is just a tandem war, 2v2 here. Got 2 Fords, 2 Toyotas, and we've lost Cole, so it's gonna be a 2-man booth for the rest of the race. Stampy, welcome to color commentary duty.
Yep.
And this is, I think that these Fords here have done a really good job of making their move up to the front of the pack. And I think they've provided a blueprint for anyone else who wants to make their way up. You just get in the tandem, follow that car in front of you, and just make your way up to them. Because the draft goes far enough back that you can definitely make moves from 10, 15 car lengths back and get up to them, Now these Fords are taking control of the race with Chris Bald Paul and Chris Bald Paul and Trainwreck. So at this point in the race...
Now looking toward mid-pack, they're 3 wide.
Yeah, these guys in the mid-pack are still just racing their hearts out, but... I think they've got to maybe say in the VCA, look, guys, we got to get in a line. We got to start getting organized if you want to run down the guys at the front. Because running like this, yeah, it might help your finishing position as we see a 3-car groove starting to get going on the bottom. It might help your finishing position a little bit, but it's not gonna get you any chance at a win. And everybody wants to win. You know, that is your goal as a stock car driver, in my opinion, is to finish the best that you can using the equipment you got. And
definitely,
I feel like the best chance you have to finish in the best spot is not by sitting back here wearing out your stuff going 3 and 4 wide. It's getting in a line and getting yourselves up there. It's kind of like the 2 prisoners issue, you know. It doesn't seem like you're helping yourself by dropping back and getting in line, but it is the most mutually beneficial thing for everyone in the pack. So I wonder if they are going to try and get in a groove, getting one line here at some point.
Yeah, it seems so. Shulk just started lagging. And that's exactly the point. And if these guys don't start to band together, the top 4 are going to start running away.
Mm-hmm. And right now, that gap is pretty freaking big from 4th to 5th. It is a whole second. They've got to get organized. And right here, we got a 3-car group starting to get together. And Shulk is trying to get them organized right now. In the chat, he's trying to rally the troops, get everyone in one line. And it looks like they might oblige. We got a 4-car group starting to get together. 1 car gets a little bit loose. That was a 20.
Now here's the issue. When you have such shredded tires, you have to also incorporate that in your timing when you let off, when you get that bump.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to be
it really complicates things, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah.
We got a 4-car group here at the back. This is just not what these guys at the back want to see. Is the leaders are actually, I believe, starting to pull away a little bit. The gap between Remy and Joel Musa is what you want to watch if you're in chat watching this, and it is a whole second still.
Actually, now it's going to be Blackstone and Remy.
Sorry, Blackstone and Remy. Apologies. Where was Joel? What happened to Joel?
He's behind. I believe he's behind Blackstone.
Yeah, he got behind Blackstone. Blackstone got a good move up there. And now they also have to try and reel in Blackstone. Blackstone only a single car. Maybe he can try and get up to those
Blackstone's
leaders.
Getting the draft.
He's getting closer.
Oh, yeah, he's getting the draft. He's getting the draft. He's going up to 196 now.
Yep, and now that's going to maybe start slinking this pack up. Get him, get a bit of an accordion effect here. And now it's going to get real interesting, I think.
Ooh, a bit late on letting off for Blackstone.
And it's just little mistakes like that really bite you here, because now he's out of the draft, he's out of the groove.
And hits the wall.
Taps the wall. He scrubbed off a lot of speed there. He comes back to the bottom. He overdrove the corner, and look at all that space he's got to make up again. And you have to be almost perfect when you're running down cars like this.
Oop, numbers got loose.
No, I think they're changing again. They're rotating.
Oh, yeah, they're rotating.
And this is just some great tandem work from the front 4. But they got separated. That got separated, and now Blackstone's going to be up there with them. And that's going to be not what they wanted to see. Maybe it is what they want to see. Maybe they do want a 3-car group. But, Blackstone's probably out here racing for himself more than he is racing for those guys. He might not be willing to play their little tandem game, He might just try and get up there to the leaders. We'll have to see what happens if Blackstone's willing to play the game there with those 2 cars. Now, Trainwreck is all the way at the front. He says his speed broke. I don't know. He's going pretty dang fast for me. But here comes Blackstone. He's not tandeming. He's going just to the outside of the 28 trying to make a move. And that's not what these Toyotas wanted to see, is it?
I'm going to drink water real quick.
Alright. Now these Toyotas right here, they are just not having the best time getting back together for the tandem. And now Trainwreck in that number 28 Ford machine has got a pretty good lead here. These guys, teammate up there helping him. And not even to the halfway point of this race. It's going to be real interesting to see what happens here. But certainly a very interesting situation. As now we see at the very front of the field, they're coming up on a lap car. It's V. Colby, who's been running all these laps down on his own. He's got to have some music on or something. He'd be bored out of his mind otherwise. Running laps all by himself, a lap down. Multiple laps down, actually. Trainwreck and the 4-car are going to have to get around him efficiently. And the tire wear is certainly becoming a factor. They're probably going to have to pit sometime soon. But it's going to be really interesting to see what happens here when they do make the pit cycle, because this pit stop is going to be everything. If there's no more cautions, this pit stop is going to be immensely important. And Trainwreck gets up to the front now. of this lap car gets inside of him. He's going to nearly turn the lap car. He wants through. And now he's got that 4 car coming up behind him. And Trainwreck is going to be able to get to the inside of the lapper. Gets to his door, pushes him up the track. He's going to bring the 4 with him. That 4 can get inside. Nope, the lapper does get in between those 2 Fords. And now you can see these guys are really, really wearing out their tires. I mean, they're sliding up the track in every corner, having a really hard time holding that bottom groove. And we actually don't have the telemetry today. It is not working like it usually does. So we actually can't see what tire wear they are on. But as it runs right now, we got Trainwreck in first. Got a lap car of V. Colby in between Trainwreck and that 4 car. And then we got the 2 Toyotas of Blackstone Warden and Commander Remy in 3rd and 4th. And then a huge line of cars. Got Joel Musa, Baseball Freak, Good Square. I mean, everyone's in this group here. Isn't in that front pack. And that front pack has pulled away. And now Chris Paul, that lapper's trying to get around the leader. And he will get around Trainwreck now on the bottom. And due to some unforeseen circumstances, I'm now the only man in the booth. So you guys are going to be able to hear a man's vocal cords die slowly. But Trainwreck in command of this race right now. Got a lap car in front of him. And now those Toyotas have caught up to the Fords. We're going to see if they try and make a move. And the 48 car peeking outside doesn't have anything up there. The 11 car trying underneath the 4 isn't going to get anything there either. And these guys are still pulling away. That lap car is actually probably helping them speed-wise. As they go outside of them, the 48 and the 4. And now if I'm the 11 and the 26, I send it down the inside. And that's what they're going to do. They're going to make that move. 26 actually goes high. Does not help the 11 there. I think they're just swamping these leaders. And now the Toyotas are going to get onto the bottom of the racetrack. They're actually going to probably take the lead here, depending on the actions of the lap car. And the 11 will take the lead, coming through the tri-oval. And those Fords are powerless to stop that push. Now they're 3 wide for second. That broke up the Fords. They're going to have to get back together in line. They're going to now. 26 falls off pretty big there. That's Blackstone Warden. The Chevy there is helping the Toyota of Commander Remy. Still not quite to the halfway point of this race. And we're going to try and get a crank it up here, actually, at the end of lap 50, or at the start of lap 50. So stay tuned for that. Right now, the 11 car really just in control of things here. That's where he wants to be. That was the co-commentator's pick. But right now, kind of seems like the tandem isn't working as well as it was earlier for these guys. And that backpack is starting to catch up to the leaders. They're not organized anymore. The 4 car is going to go underneath the 11, underneath the line. Not quite sure on the status of if that move was legal or not. Don't know if they'll consider that being forced or not, but it will let the 48 through. That's an interesting move. If that was intentional, I think that's pretty smart. Having your teammate push a car up the track for you. .26 is actually going to get back underneath the 48. Good racing here. Trainwreck trying to hold the outside. 26 is going to come underneath him. And we're actually going to do a crank it up now. Hear them motors, and we'll be back on the other side of this.
Turn left on you if you stop it. I'm going to turn the left.
I don't know where I am.
To turn left on you if you stop it. I'm going to turn the left.
I don't know where I am.
Turn left on you if you stop it. I'm going to turn the left.
I don't know where I am. I'm frozen.
I'm going to
Oh
take
my god, oh my god. I do not know where I am.
That was a crank it up here on Jackal. 52 laps, or 51 laps completed out of 100. We are halfway home. And it has been a very eventful race so far. A lot of hard racing. Our current leader is Blackstone Warden in that 26 machine. They're coming up on the lap car of V. Colby in the 13. But for most of the day, it's been Trainwreck, Remy, Chris Ball, Paul. I mean, it has just been a rotating cast of guys at the front. We saw some tandem action going on earlier. Right now, that is not the case as the leader smacks the wall. Tires are just completely shot right now. There's nothing left on these tires right now. And it is really going to come down to who is where at what time to make the moves to end the race. For those wondering where Cole is, he had to go, and those wondering who Stampy is, he also had to go. So it's a one-man booth here, and we're doing our best out here. I'd like to commend the just the technical forte of Jackal. I mean, they really do put on a great show here, and it's a great package to work with on the media side of things, and a great team. Now, they are starting to talk about pit cycles going on around lap 60. And that's going to be when it is time to pit. And it'll be interesting to see what happens when the pit cycle hits. And AK Isaiah apparently flipped but saved it. I didn't see that. Out grabbing my water. And that's unfortunate for him. That's why he's 14 seconds back out of the group. Now it's going to be interesting to see what happens here. Especially for Blackstone Warden, because he is out on his own right now. He doesn't have the help that some of these other guys have back in that group. And right now, I know they are just running down laps trying to get to that pit stop. I don't know what's actually going to happen for Blackstone. I mean, I don't know if he's going to pit when everyone else pits. He is the first car out there. So when he pits, everybody can make their strategy moves reactively to him. He doesn't really have that luxury. He's going to get caught out an extra lap on old tires if he stays out a lap. It means if he pits in at the same time as everyone else, he'll just be ahead of everyone. But it's going to be really interesting to see what he does, because you don't want to get overcut or undercut here as a leader. People are talking about pitting on lap 60. That's what we saw in chat. So we'll see when that actually occurs, the pit stop. But it'll be real interesting here. Got a couple of cars coming down pit road now. And those cars that are pitting are Joel Musa and the Baseball Freak. They were talking about pitting at lap 60, and they have decided to pit on lap 55. Now they're probably going to be tandeming when they come out of the pits. Looks like no issues on the pit stops, no speeding or anything, as far as we can tell. And now they are out of their boxes. Or not quite. Out of their boxes in just a moment here. Yep, now there they go. And Joel Musa got a much better pit stop than Baseball Freak, it looked like. Just on in-to-out time. It seemed like he had a much more efficient time getting down pit road and getting everything sorted out. He's going to come out about a second ahead of the guy that he pit with. And those guys are going to have to coordinate to get back together to maintain as much speed as possible. As Blackstone Warden continues to lead this race. Nobody else pit on this lap. So far 2 cars have come down pit road. And I can tell, may have been someone else who pit during the crank it up, but I don't believe so. AK Isaiah May, no, he did not pit, he still needs some seconds back. Joel Musa and Baseball Freak, the only cars to have pit so far. As that lap car goes all the way down to the grass. And right now, you can tell these guys are struggling on these tires, man. They are just all over the place. These cars are sliding up almost into the wall. Nearly hitting it. And it's really hard to hold that bottom line right now. No one pits this lap either. Trying to milk this pit cycle for all it is worth. And now Baseball Freak and Joel Musa, I mean, if I'm these guys, I'm wondering if I made the right call at all. Because no one else has pit yet. You're all alone. You're about a straightaway, it's actually about half a racetrack ahead of the leaders. In terms of getting lapped. But you have to wonder if you're going to get lapped because these guys have so much speed. I don't think they're going to. I think they're good. But when they cycle back in, it'll be interesting to see where they come out. But Joel Musa now with maybe a good call, maybe not. We'll see what happens there. Blackstone Warden still leading this race, still stuck up behind a lap car. And he's just running down laps right now, still not pitting. Don't believe we're going to have any pitters this lap. Everyone's still staying out. And Joel Musa and the Baseball Freak are still 42 seconds behind the lead pack. We'll see if that gap changes. See what the speed difference is. The fact that they're on new tires may negate a little bit of the fact that all these guys are in a huge group. But we will have to see about that. But if you look at the throttle inputs of these guys, they are all over the place in the corner. They are just doing everything to try and get through the corner without sliding up, hitting the wall. I have to think the lap times are significantly slower right now than they were earlier in the race. I'm going to go check that in just a moment. But these guys are really having a hard time getting through the corner, running through there. And it's just about pitting time for these guys. We've already had 2 cars come down pit road. Blackstone staying out still. Remy and everyone else holding as well. But Joel Musa and the Baseball Freak are going faster than leaders right now. So it'll have. I think they might cycle out ahead of everyone. Just thinking, doing the math. I think they will cycle out ahead of everyone, but they'll be on older tires at that point. It might be a struggle for them to stay out ahead of folks. As I feel it gets more and more strung out here as the run goes on, and different cars have different amounts of tires left, different amounts of fuel. and just different amounts of wherewithal to manage all of that. Blackstone Warden has shown tremendous fortitude and wherewithal this race. I mean, he's done everything right. He's done everything he needs to do. As they come up on 8K Isaiah, who goes down to the bottom. And it's going to be a first time going a lap down for Isaiah if they do pass him. And I think that this is definitely an opportunity for Blackstone to put some more gap between him and the field. And certainly a chance to maybe give himself an advantage coming out of the pit cycle. Trainwreck says pitting, I believe, so we'll see who comes with him, if anyone. He's got a couple of Fords lined up behind him. He's actually got 4 Fords in this group, so it might be a good chance for him to come down pit road. Meanwhile, at the very front of the field, Paul is Blackstone Warden just checking out on people right now. He's got about a 2-second advantage, I reckon, at this point to the second place car. Interesting to see if he pits in that Chevy or if he stays out for an extra lap. And Musa and the Baseball Freak will see if their pit cycle decision works out for them, because they've gained 5 seconds nearly since that pit stop. But Trainwreck says he's going to pit here, and here comes everybody. The entire field coming down pit road, peeling off onto the apron. And we'll see if anyone's sped. Oh, we got a car spinning. It's a 4 car. Not what he wanted to see. That's Paul, and that is just disastrous for him. He spins down pit road into the grass. Trainwreck may have sped. Paul is just going to go around. After completely missing the pit entry, that is a disaster for him. Trainwreck now trying to argue his case. Possible penalties coming here. We will see what happened. That was a huge stack up on pit entry. Trainwreck comes off pit road first. Blackstone Warden didn't have a great pit stop. He was caught up in that huge stack up too. And that's going to shake things all the way up. We'll see if Trainwreck has a penalty to serve officially. Waiting on the call. And that is disastrous for him if that is a penalty. Coming out of the pits with the lead right now, I believe Joel Musa would be your leader. So the pit cycle decision pays dividends for them. See how long they can hold it on the older tires. Trainwreck, the first car to come out of the pits from that big group, but he may have a penalty. We'll see if he comes and serves it here, or if he's in the clear. Still waiting on that. And that really strung out this front pack, and now they're going to have to work together to get up to the leaders. And new leader will be Joel Musa. And that is, that is just great for Joel. I mean, he really has made a bold pit strategy here and tried his damnedest. Get himself into a good position, and he's done it. And now we have a drive-through penalty officially for Trainwreck, and that is going to be disastrous for him. That is not what he needed. And he's still trying to plead his case, as he should. It looked to me like he was going to speed there. I thought a couple of guys were going to speed, honestly. And, I mean, that was a really aggressive pit entry there. Guys trying to maximize it. And some guys maximized it, other guys sped. One guy spun. Paul, not what he needed. And now Trainwreck still has not served the drive-through. He has been given a drive-through penalty by the admins. We'll see when he serves it. He has taken a black flag, and will have to come down pit road. And he's still trying to argue his case. I do like the call of arguing your case before you actually serve it, though, because if you do manage to get yourself off the hook, you didn't serve the penalty and then get the admission that you were in the right. But at the same time, and now we have a caution. Not sure what for. And this will be the race back to the line. Joel Musa on the outside line. Trainwreck on the inside, pending a penalty on him. Here comes that 5 car, Baseball Freak. Stayed out with Musa. And that's going to mix up our pit cycle here. We're going to go 3 wide for second place officially for now. And this will be popular. Commander Remy gets himself back to the point, but there's a good push on the outside. This is a race back. This is a very important race back. This is for control of the next restart. 5 car gets a huge push from the 41 and is going to take it. Trainwreck still in front. And then smoking his tires, slowing down the 41. I mean, just treating your tires a little bit wrong is not what you want. And there was a 2-car wreck somewhere. I didn't see it in the lead group. We're up watching the leaders here. Funny, we saw a single car flip for last, but I didn't actually see the 2-car wreck, presumably in the main pack. I was watching the leaders. They were having a heck of a fight, and Trainwreck was really trying to plead his case. And he still thinks his penalty is dumb. He's still arguing this penalty call. It was AK Isaiah. He's had a rough day. And I mean, Trainwreck still trying to fight this penalty here. So at this point, actually, I'm curious as to how they'll enforce it now. I wonder if they will have to serve a drive-through on the restart, or if they'll go to the end of the longest line, how that'll be enforced. We're going to try and get some chat questions in. We have a question from Zavi48. Hey Jackal, I got a question. Do you think I am a good road racer? I don't know who you are. So, and I'm also not Jackal. I'm AJ. I just work for these guys. I'm the commentator. I don't run the channel. Not Iggy. Gosh. It's a long race. So Trainwreck will have to serve his drive-through penalty on the next green flag run after this restart for speeding on entering pit road during the pit cycle. We got another question. Jackal, I got a question. Do you think? What? And now, got 2 questions. Do you think Remy will win, and who do you think will win? Well, right now, I think the money's got to be on Remy, Bill Musa, Baseball Freak. I mean, all these guys up here at the front. Anybody in this field, honestly, has a chance to win. We can count Trainwreck out of it, having to serve a drive-through. It'll be interesting to see if people have to pit again. I'm not quite sure. I don't know the fuel mileage. I'll be asking right now, actually. And the 11 apparently took the 88's pit stall. That's just a power move, alright? And Shulk said that's why he said Remy gave him to the back. I was curious as to what happened there. I didn't see it. I was watching Trainwreck and his penalty, please. And I'm trying to figure out what the pit strategy is going to be. But Trainwreck will have to serve it on this green flag run as they come towards the restart zone now. And who do I think will win? I think anybody in this pack's got a chance, but right now, I think Baseball Freak and Joel Moose have put themselves in great position. Pace car will stay on track. A bunch of cars will peel off down pit road. We got no numbers, a couple of Chevys, bunch of Fords too. And it looks like this pit cycle is going by pretty smoothly so far, no issues. A couple of cars ran into each other getting into their boxes, Remy and Shulk. Oh my gosh. They having some issues getting into their boxes. She'll hit the spectate button, trying to get that fixed. Pace car lights are out. Do 1 to green. Someone asked winter tryouts. Heck if I know. I remember there were some not too long ago I saw, but you'd have to join the Jackal Discord, and I believe there's a link to the Jackal Discord somewhere on the group for the Roblox group. I'm pretty sure the Discord link is on there. Let me check. Yeah, the communication server's on there. So if you do want to see when tryouts are, they're on there. And they're on the Discord. But I do not know when tryouts happen. So Trainwreck's going to have to serve this drive-through penalty. So the leader right now is effectively going to be Joel Musa. He does not have control of the restart. So it'll be very interesting to see what happens. But they come towards the restart zone. Any final questions y'all have got, gotta ask them now. This might be our last caution. And yes, you have to have Discord to drive here. If you're 13 or older, Discord is free. It's not like TeamSpeak. TeamSpeak's free too, actually. So yeah, it's free. So if you do want to get a Discord account to try and get yourself into Jackal, you can make a Discord account. You have to be 13 or older. And the pace car is now going to peel off down pit road. How long have I been with Jackal? This season, but I've been linked to various leagues in this kind of sphere of Roblox leagues for a while. As they come to the restart zone, that's somebody getting their lap back. Don't mind them. Trainwreck on a drive-through penalty will control the restart. Green flag is out. And Joel Musa, effectively our leader currently. Trainwreck will have to serve a penalty during this run. It's a call from the admins. Joel Musa goes to the outside with the 5 car. Good action back in the pack, but these guys at the front have just launched off. Trainwreck, Musa, and Baseball Freak just got a huge restart there, and that's exactly what they needed. These guys are on slightly lower tires than everyone else. They go to the outside of Trainwreck. Trainwreck holding that bottom well, trying to defend, maybe lead a couple more laps before he has to go serve that penalty. And now the pack is starting to come up. And we have another call from the officials now. Trainwreck has 1 lap to serve the drive-thru where he is parked. So if he does not respect the black flag, he's parked for the race. And he's trying to get around a lap car. Baseball Freak got shuffled back. Now Joel Musa pushing Trainwreck. And this pack's starting to get real racy. We're going to be coming towards 30 to go. Still about 100 miles left in this race. So a full-length normal race on this platform is still left in this race. That's kind of incredible how long this thing has been. I mean, I'll take this over the Coke 600 any day when it comes to endurance stock car races. See if Trainwreck respects the black flag. He peels off to the left. Now watch his speed come onto pit road. And he gets down to 70 before the line. And we got a wreck, actually. The 22 car, sideways, keeps it straight enough to keep it going. But he does serve the drive-through penalty. Trainwreck does. Joel Musa inherits the lead after making a pretty good pit call earlier to pit early, do a bit of an undercut, kind of ahead of the leaders. That's just a good pit call. And now we got more cars around at the back of the field. Blowover. That's Baseball Freak up and over into the wall hard. And that will bring out the caution. And Joel Musa, Baseball Freak's teammate, is going to inherit the lead on the race back to the line. Got some good pushing going on here behind, but Ford's not going to be able to get to him. And that was a godsend for Trainwreck, who will stay on the lead lap now, I believe. As they slow down for the caution. And that was a proper plate race and wreck. Had a flip. V. Colby's going to get another lap back. And no numbers apologizing for that. That's what it looked like to me. It just got sideways and got up and over. Yeah, just a push in a not amazing location. And we're going to open up questions. You can ask your questions now, but I'm not going to answer them for just a moment. We have a red flag now on the track. Figure out what exactly this red flag is about. As the car is stopping on the backstretch. Now, Baseball Freak is talking some smack at Train. Because Train was holding everybody up while he was about to serve his penalty, I believe. See what the controversy is. We'll see.
To turn left on you if you stop.
I'm going to turn the left.
Somebody asked about serving, like, when you serve your penalty. Yeah, I feel like it's best to argue it as long as you can. From a, you know, holding out hope that maybe you can get them to reverse the call. But you also risk yourself getting parked by staying out all that time. So, we will see. Red flag is done now. Everybody's going to get back underway. Under Payson. 30 laps to go next time by. It'll be real interesting to see what happens here. Someone asked, when will Jackal become public? There is a public racing game with Jackal scripts in it. I believe it's called Pack Racing Simulator. It's also the old Jackal Daytona game. I remember that. Had some fun scripting and pretty fun. And the blowovers were just amazing. But yeah, there are public Jackal games. The league itself has tryouts. I don't know when they are. And you can join the Discord server to stay up to date on all that. The Discord server is listed under their Roblox group, which is what this game is under. So now, fan favorite Commander Remy, up in this league group of cars, see if he pits. Is the pace car door bangs with the 47 machine? Or 41 machine, apologies. Is that 40? Is that 1 or 7? I haven't figured that out, so. I swear, I mean, stock car racing fonts are something else sometimes. It's obviously a 1, right? Have to be. We're going to see just about everybody come down pit road here. In fact, everybody, the entire field will pit here. And V. Colby, I believe, is going to get back on the lead lap. So we're going to be back to 12 cars on the lead. Ryan, I don't know what Remy said about you wanting to meet him. We'll see. We'll see what he says about it. But we're gonna see what happens here. It's gonna be 30 to go, and lap times. I'm actually gonna fly down and look at the lap times, hopefully without causing any disruptions or UFO sightings. But as of right now, as they run, I think Joel Musa's probably got the best chance to win it. He made that great pit call. He's out in the lead. And I feel like if he can defend well, he's got Baseball Freak there to help him maybe. Still about half an hour to an hour left of this race. They keep running 1 minute, well, 1 minute, 1 second lap times. Everybody's lining up here. I believe they'll be able to go green next time by, maybe this time. But, I mean, I'm interested in, I'll ask Chat a question. Usually Chat asks us questions, but Chat, who do y'all think gonna win? That's my question to y'all. I'm curious as to what the consensus is among the YouTube experts. Because right now, I think Remy and Joel Musa have the best chance, honestly. I mean, they're 1-2 right now, but Joel Musa made a great pit call, and I feel like he is in a place where he can execute well. Somebody said Tony Romo in chat. I mean, I don't know if Tony Romo's in this race, but if he is, he'd probably win it. Tony Romo. It's a bulb. So we're going to see what happens here. Still a very long caution period here after that red flag for the flip. We get everybody sorted. A couple more cars come down pit road a second time. Don't believe there's any issues with them. Everybody seems to get in their box well and get out well. Got a car spinning though at the back. It's V. Colby. Just spinning through the grass there. I don't know if he came in on the right side of the line. We'll see. He reverses backwards down pit road. He reverses backwards down pit road, goes through the pit road speed thing, goes back through his own smoke, and is now going to come to his pit box. I wish the camera was on him, because that was a very interesting pit stop strategy. Spinning through the grass, going backwards to hit the timer, or not the timer, the speed brick, and then coming back to the box. That was interesting. I don't know if the camera caught that, but I hope it did. But that was an incredibly interesting pit strategy. Pace car lights are off. They're going to be coming green next time by. This time by, excuse me. And it's going to be a 32-lap shootout, or 28-lap shootout here to determine the winner of this 300-mile race, a proper endurance race here in Jackal Racing. Bit of rubbing with the pace car here. And Joel Musa made the pit call to get into this position. He's on the same fuel strategy and pit strategy for tires as everyone else now. And it is up to him to execute here with 32 to go to try and get his team to win. Pace car is going to peel off here. And less than 100 miles now in this race. We're going to see who rises to the top and who falls to the back. Joel Musa gets control. Coming to the restart zone. And we are green flag racing once again. 11 car gets a good push, immediately goes underneath Musa. Goes below the line, but he was forced down there. He lets him come back up. Now it's a great move there. And Musa's going to have a good square on the outside to help. He gets a push, but it's not going to help much. On the outside line here, it can be just dropping like a rock out there sometimes. 48 car pushing 20. And you get up in the second. Joel Musa falls back to fourth, gets in line. Good square is now the only car trapped out of line out of anyone in this group. And it's all going single file very quickly here. Everyone gets in one big line. Coming into the corner, the 77. Sorry, the 11. I think it was 77. And Remy gets up to the front. The car pushing him washes up high. And now he's going to have Trainwreck behind him. Trainwreck right back to the front after his penalty. He got very lucky with the time the caution came out. Didn't lose that much from the serving of the penalty. Only lost 13 seconds, stayed on the lead lap. Only one car a lap down. It's Blackstone Warden. And that 26 machine scored a lap down right now. And now Remy gets forced outside here by Trainwreck. And Trainwreck's going to take the lead. Good move put on there by Joel Musa. Getting to second again. He's got the 4 to help him. Got 3 Fords at the front, but now the 4 actually goes inside of Musa. He's going to take First place, we got a car spinning at the back. Into the wall. And I believe that was 8K Isaiah. No, it was not 8K Isaiah. Figure out who that was. Is that Blackstone? It was Blackstone. And now he's struggling to get that car back going. Looked like it was just a bad push or something, got him sideways. He went up into the wall, didn't collect anybody, so he stayed green. And now another car spinning. It's the 88 car. Keeps his foot in it, but he collects another car up into the wall. And they wreck. That was Shulk into the wall hard. The 24 collected. The caution is out now. They're going to race back to the line. It's an important race back. Trainwreck has the lead. 28 is going to help Ford go to the outside here, though. Now, Baseball Freak, if I was him, I'd cut down right now. Doesn't make the move. Now, a bit of anger being directed at no numbers here. In that 28 car. 41 goes inside of him with the 13. And the 41. Going to make a move here. That's Baseball Freak. Excuse me, that's Joel Musa. Two very similar cars in this field. The teammates who made a great pit call earlier to get themselves into position to have a chance at this thing. As they come to the race back. Late in the race, 41 gets a big push, gets forced down below the line. He's going to come back up with the 4 car. They're going to be even. The 13 car spinning, though, through the grass. He's going to come up. He's going to collect Trainwreck. Trainwreck keeps it straight. And the caution is out. I don't know who got race back. It's going to be the 28. Gets turned over the nose of the 4 as they cross the line. And they are going to have a bit of a wreck as they slow down. Multiple cars involved. That's not good for the tires. That's going to change pit strategy for those guys as they smoke the tires spinning. And that is unfortunate for a lot of guys. And it mixes up pit strategy. I think everyone's got to come now, honestly. And no numbers will be holding the lead. That was a great race back. As everybody gets themselves back in line. Baseball Freak has some gripes with numbers. And Tipper's flaring here a little bit because it's late in the race. You're under a lot of pressure to try and, deliver your team the results that you can do. Here on a plate track, everybody goes into the race thinking they can win it. That's the thing with super speedways. Everybody goes into these races thinking that they have a shot to win. Because there is an element of luck, and there's a bit of a... the draft acts as a paradising force here, okay? Paradising force. It really brings the field together. It kind of nullifies certain things that some drivers might be good at or not. It also amplifies the team element and how important that is. It's always important, but it's especially important on these plate races. And it's going to be really interesting to see here what exactly will go on at the end of this race, because there is a lot of people here who are looking for a win, who need points. A lot of guys who have delivered on plate tracks before, a couple of guys who haven't delivered on plate tracks before, up here in the front of the pack. It'll be interesting to see what happens. I believe the pits are open. Looks like just about everyone's going to come down. No pit fake. 41 hesitated there. One car is staying out. Zane to train. Nope, he ends up coming down. I think somebody probably told him to think better of it. Comes back down pit road. And now I'm going to answer questions in chat, so ask away. If you've got any chat questions, we watch this pit cycle here. Got a question from Smalls. How much does spinning affect the tires? It just destroys them. It's not good for your tires. Bad pit stop for Remy, though. He gets boxed in his box pretty badly there. Bad pit stop as well for Zane to train. He was already in last, though, so he probably won't mind too much. He's got to take his time, make sure he gets all his service. But Remy, with not a great entry to his box, is going to lose some spots here. But some other people also had struggles. The car sideways on pit road there. It's baseball. But yeah, spinning here just destroys your tires. It is not good for him. It just wears them badly. Especially when you spin all the way around like that. It's just not good for you. It's not what you're looking for as a driver. As the field gets queued up behind the pace car, they'll probably be good to go green this time. I believe everyone now is on the lead lap. And no numbers says he has to pit again. Followed by some extreme key spam. Is this Good Square's last season? I don't know. There's been talk about it. I don't know if he announced it or not. I could have sworn there was talk about it at the start of the season. Just ask Good Square, honestly. I forget. I'm not the color guy. I don't have to know all the tidbits. I just have to say what's going on. Usually I'd have someone else here who would know that, but I'm the only guy here actually right now, so. You couldn't tell by the fact that my voice cracks every 3 seconds and I have 4 cough drops in my mouth. So they are going to have the pace car go around one more time here. 28 car is going to come down pit lane, bringing Trainwreck with them, bringing a lot of cars with them. And now for Joel Musa and Baseball Freak, this is a very important decision to make. Baseball Freak and Joel Musa, no, Musa stays out. Joel Musa is going to stay out on the track here. It's going to be 4-car lead group. Schulk gets up to 3rd. See if there's any disastrous pit stops here. Looks like nothing so far. Everyone gets into their box clean. Oh, the 5-car and the 24 miscoordinate the whole getting into the box part of the pit stop, and not what they needed. At this point, if you're a 24, take full service, I think. Get everything since you're already back. And Baseball Freak apologizes for that. And V. Colby holds the lead. Earlier in this race, he was 8 laps down. So that's... I was giving him credit earlier for just staying out. And, you know, that's what happens when you just stay out. Good sportsmanship going on between Baseball and Zane. Good to see. Any more chat questions as we see some not so good sportsmanship going on between 2 guys at the back running each other into the wall? But yeah, this might be your last opportunity to ask chat questions. I know cautions breed cautions, but so far in this race, we've had some very long green flag runs, upwards of 30 laps. And we might be ready to have a final green flag run, a final push to the finish. Now we're coming inside of 70 miles at this point in the race, getting towards 60 miles left. It's going to be a restart with 30 to go or 31 to go, depending on when the pace car lights go out. Everybody is queued up, though. Everyone's gotten in line, so I don't see any reason why they can't go green this time. The pace car lights are off. Controlling the restart will be V. Colby. Followed by the 26, the 88, and then Baseball Freak, Joel Musa in 4th. They have switched, actually, positions exactly, the 2 of them, from where they started this pit cycle off. Devicki brings the pacer down pit road. Colby has the lead. Coming to control the restart with 22 to go here. And the green flag is out. The Discord is on the Roblox group Jackal Racing. And here we are. The 88 makes a move to the bottom. 13's not going to be able to block it. Got a car sideways, though. Manages to save it. Comes back up onto the track. He's going to have to wait for all those guys to get by. I don't think he's going to be able to get back up. But the 88 is Schulk on the inside. Baseball Freak on the inside now of him, the 41. Colby's got help on the outside. And he's actually going to be able to get up to the front. Will he be able to get back down, though, and clear the 41? With Schulk pushing him. Schulk's going to get a push here from Remy. Not going to be able to get quite to the 41. And the 13 of V. Colby survives that. Tremendous restart from everyone behind him. Manages to work the lanes, get himself back to the front. After being passed momentarily. And now we're going to have 21 to go this time by, and it is on now. You are pushing, you are trying to get the win here. Everybody in this group still thinking, you know, can I win this race? And I feel like everybody here can say, yes, I can win this race. Everyone's got a shot. Just have to be smart and take it. Baseball Freak gets a good push on the bottom. That's going to move him to the lead. Sorry, Joel Musa. Again, they did switch positions. It's a good push. We got a car sideways. His car hopped there, actually, out of the groove. Trainwreck, and he's going to keep it straight. He's going to slap the wall on exit there. It just smoked his tires and scrubbed off all his speed. Lost the draft, I believe. And he says this track sucks. That's some salt right there. As now Remy pushing the 41 through the corner. He's got the 27 behind him. Inside line looking dominant right now. They're 3 wide for 6th place. And this front group starting to scoot away a little bit. As we got Remy leaning on the 41 car. Gonna see what happens here.
To turn left on you.
Joel Musa made that great pit call earlier in the race.
Turn to left.
He's got Remy behind him now. Good push car, but Remy's looking to win this thing. Fan favorite.
I'm frozen.
I'm going to
Oh
take
my
my
god.
Musa just kind of weaving a little bit.
I do not know what I
Staying in the
am.
lead. Keeping that line. Look like the 11 might try and shoot outside there. He's going to try it now. Doesn't get much help. 27 doesn't get underneath him though. Now he pushes the 41 out of the groove a tiny bit as that pack starts to catch back up to the leaders. And they are 3 wide there. 41 holds the lead. 20 to go. And this racing is just incredible. Now as they are 4 wide at the back of this group, 5 wide for a moment there as Schulk drops to the back. You see again a car hop in the groove there, but he did not spin this time. And the 11, oh, he had an opening there if he could have taken it. But he checked up instead for the slowing car, did not send it down the inside there. He's still got plenty of time, Remy, and a good spot. There's no reason for him to be over-aggressive and go for a gap that might close in any second. Well, there's about half a car length, or half a car width inside the 41 right there in the corner entry. And I'm sure he notices that, and he's taking note of that entry there. He gets a push from the 13. He takes his chance. Commander Remy to the front of the race here. Moose is all hung out to dry on the outside line. No help. 13 pushes Remy up to the front. Now they're going to go 3 wide as the 20 goes underneath the 13 under the yellow line. And have to try and merge back up safely. And he does. And they are still going 4 or 5 wide at the back. Now Remy's going to have 2 lanes to work. He goes up to the high side. He's got the 4 up there with him. And Musa actually able to hang on to second. We're going to have a soundbite from Joel.
Holy shit, blood. What was that, Remy? What was that run?
Wow.
He got him from me.
He's getting all these runs from me, and then Colby's delivering that
Dude,
run.
why'd you go off? Why'd you go off?
Remy holding the lead. Alright, Remy holding the lead here. Now what you heard that was Joel Musa when he got pushed out of the groove there. This is some incredible racing as we come down, approaching 15 laps to go. They are 3 wide now for 4th place. And here comes the 88 on the bottom, trying to make something happen. The high side actually coming alive here because they go high on the straightaways, getting a huge pack. Here comes the 41 with Baseball Freak to help. Baseball Freak was unable to actually stay coupled, though. He washes out of the groove. Not what Musa wanted. Now Joel's stuck on the bottom with no real support from Baseball Freak, which is unfortunate. He gets inside the 4 car, though, for 2nd place. They are 5 wide in the pack. Just some incredible racing, bumping and banging, door slamming. Commander Remy loves to see that. He actually hops a little bit in the tri-oval. They're still 4 wide. I wonder how long this pack can keep this up before something goes wrong for somebody. I've already had 1 wreck this run. It was on the 2nd lap of it. 41 holding that front. Big wash up there from Schulk and Baseball Freak. They're going to have to fight to stay behind this pack now. 4 wide, 4 by 2. Somebody call Home Depot. We got 2 by 4 here. There's 3 by 3 now as well. These guys are just racing their hearts out. And Joel Musa working the lanes now just as well as he would be if he was leading. He's got the 4 car behind him now to push. 3 Fords lined up on the bottom, coming at the 11, who has gotten out to a huge lead. You have to wonder if he's shredding those tires getting out there. We saw that happen to Trainwreck at one point as well, where they got out to a huge lead by just destroying their tires. And we got 2 cars in the wall. That was Zane to Train washing Good Square all the way up the track. Unfortunate for Good Square. He was on pace for probably a decent finish here. It wasn't the best plate race you've ever seen him run, but he was running in a spot that would have put him in position when it came down to 10, 5, 3 to go, 2 to go. Being able to start making some moves. Now Joel Musa up in 2nd place. Making the moves he needs to make to get himself up there. And that pit call earlier is the definitive moment of this race. If he comes down to winning this race, if he wins it, it's going to come down to that pit call he made earlier in the night. Because that call to pit early put him ahead of everybody when they came out of the pits after that calamity that ensued on pit entry, with the man speeding, another man spinning. The cars who sped and spun are actually too wide right now, the 48 and the 4. And here comes Trainwreck. But that pit call there leapfrogged him around everybody. He wasn't making great passes in the pack, and now that he's been up here, he's been able to hold on to position. He's been able to get the lead a couple times. He's got the 4 now to push. He can probably cut that back down now. If he wants, he can probably cut back down. Bit of lag on my end there. And he's unable to. He's actually going to stay up with the 11, not going to move down. He's going to stay high. 48's going to come to the lead now. Trainwreck, Remy not going to block that run. Yes, he will. With no margin for error, makes a great block. That is completely clean. That is some good defending right there. No Logano right there. That was just perfect. Perfectly timed move on the defensive side there. And now he's going to need some help, though, to maintain this. He got 4 cars on the outside, 4 cars on the inside. On a flat track like this, all things being equal, the inside line will have the advantage like that. Now we go 3 wide. Outside line kind of fell apart as they go 3 wide, 4 wide now. And the 20 car gets a great run through that corner. And that's going to move him all the way up into the lead, a.k.a. Isaiah. Inside of Trainwreck with Good Square pushing him. Good Square got right back up there. I thought he would have been knocked out of the draft. But somehow manages to work his way right back up to the front. That's what Good Square can do for you. Makes him such a good driver. Bit of a bobble there from the 11 and the 4. They both keep it straight. This race has been incredible here as it gets down to crunch time. And we got a spinner at the back. He's going to get it back straight. That's Joe Musa. Unfortunate for him. That killed those tires. That is not what he needed to see. That is really not what he needed to see. He's going to have to work extra hard to get back up there. He's done it already once this race. So I believe he can do it again. But it's going to take some help. Here comes Colby. Back into second place. I feel like everybody's had the lead at some point here, just about. Colby makes a move there. They're going to go 3 wide as the 11 comes underneath. That's Commander Remy, fan favorite. If they were a crowd here, they'd be cheering for him. 3 wide pass for the lead. The 4 car is going to get underneath him, though. Just incredible. Now Chris Bald Paul takes the lead. He's got some help on the bottom. 13 car. Side draft there from the 4. Oh, they get a little bit of contact. They don't wreck, though. They keep it straight. And Joel has managed to get back onto the tail end of this pack. He's got Baseball Freak back there with him. Teammates. We're going to have to see if they can try and work together. At one point in this race, we really saw the tandem drafts coming in. Wonder if that's going to happen here towards the end, too. So we see some teammates starting to link up with each other. It may come down to that. Having some help. But Chris Bald Paul on pace to have a great comeback win here as he gets shoved all the way down there. He's got the 26 behind him now. Good move there. That's going to mean that we have another new leader there, just trading the lead up here. Lap after lap after lap. And that is just incredible racing there. Blackstone Warden now holding that lead. 28's going to have a push here. He's going to take it back. And we got car sideways. Saves it, though. And maybe not, though. It's Good Square into the wall. They went 5 wide there. And this track's wide, but ain't that wide. The car was on the apron, got loose, came up. A Good Square, unfortunately, pays the price for someone else's misdeeds. And he's going to be way back there now. It's going to take him a lap or two just to get back onto this lead group here. So everybody gets in one line. Got a couple of cars on the bottom, though. That's a Baseball Freak and Joel Musa maybe going to try something here. They all dive into the corner. Remy's going to have a great run through it. But he's going to wash up into another car. And that's going to let 13 by on the bottom. Up into second place. And, you know, with how many cars are just staying in the draft, trying to do everything they can, work in the air, you got to wonder about engine temperatures still. Hate to bring up reliability at this time in the race, But one of these guys' engines lets go. That is it for the pack. That would be a huge wreck late in this race. And here comes Chris Bald Paul down the inside of the 41 car. Into third place now. Nope, not going to be able to do it. And Blackstone Warden just racing his heart out, trying to check out on the field. I mean, if he can gap the field here, you have a pretty good chance of winning. But if they run up on him too quick, he's going to have a hard time blocking that run. And V. Colby's hitting dang near 200 miles an hour at the end of the straightaway here. 198 miles an hour. And that's just incredible. That's some good speed there. Really good pushing from 41. And Blackstone Warden's probably going to get swallowed up here at some point, I think. It's just going to be, what is he going to do to maintain that lead when they get to him? Here comes the 13. Blackstone's leaving a lot of room on the bottom. He moves down to shadow it. And that's a good move there. Here comes the 4, though. Chris Bald Paul. Going to move to the bottom. 3 wide for the front. And now the number 4 car takes the point. He's on the point. Here comes the 24, though. 4 wide for the lead. And that's going to be another pass for position. And now Zane DeTrain leads some laps. See if he can hang out front here. They are just racing their hearts out here, man. This is just incredible. 10 to go. Tampa Bay Super Speedway. A very interesting track that's provided a very interesting race. It has been multiple different kinds of racing. We've seen the tandem draft. We've seen the pack. We've seen them training. We've seen cars get out on their own. We've seen pit strategy. We've seen endurance. We've had cars come back from 8 laps down to the lead lap, and 12 cars still have a chance to win it. That is just what you want to see in a race. There's even been some tempers, man. This has been incredible. As the 24 car now falls back behind Chris Bald Paul. 9 to go. And look at that again. Baseball Freak and Joel Musa working on trying to get back to the front. Heard a big lift there from one of the cars in the lead, though. Huge lift. And those tires are starting to come in a little bit. Factoring into the decisions that the drivers make behind the wheel. 24 and the 27 on the outside, a Ford and a Toyota, 2 Fords on the inside, trailing a Ford in that 4 car. Which lane does he go with? If they dive bomb him here, 41 moves to cover the 26's move. Very smart team move there, but it's actually going to force the 5 out of the groove. He's going to have to do something to try and get back down and help 41 as they go 3 wide for second still. Meanwhile, a car taps the wall at the back of the pack. And now we have 2 lanes again. Chris Bald Paul really hopes that these guys just slow each other down. The last thing he wants is for those 2 lanes to both come at the same exact time, because then he's going to lose the lead no matter what. You can't block both. Someone's going to get around you. Right now, he comes back down to the bottom. He's got the 28 down there. Cars starting to battle the track a little bit more than they have earlier in this run. That's as a consequence of how far they've been pushing the limit. Here is Joel Musa and Baseball start to drop back. And the 28 car of no numbers coming to the front, just attacking Chris right now, trying to put a move on him. He goes to the outside. He's going to cut down here. He cuts down, gives him a good push though. And those 2 cars are now firmly locked in first and second with Good Square in third. As they run right now, it's Chris Bald Paul, the 28 of no numbers, Good Square, Zane DeTrain, followed by a just hodgepodge of cars, Trainwreck leading it, B. Colby, Blackstone, a bunch of good drivers stuck up in that. And then Baseball Freak and Joel Musa, who made a great pit call earlier, stuck back there again and lost a lot of progress, but there's still time to make up. 7 laps to go. A lot more off throttle time right now. It's going to come down right to the wire here as the 28 car is right where he wants to be. No numbers. Remy got shuffled all the way back into that backpack. He's got cars 4 wide ahead of him, and he's just looking to try and get back up to the front. It's going to be a battle for him just to get up there. And then you have to make the move once you're up there. Here comes the 4 making a move. Unable to get underneath, though. That's Chris Bald Paul. We got a car sideways. The 8 car, 88, excuse me, a Shulk. Manages to save it. Thunder. Sorry, Trainwreck. I mean, car that I think a guy named Thunder ran a couple of weeks ago. Now I think about it. That's why I said that. Trainwreck, though, in third now. Gets around good square. Got a big push here coming from the 24. Trainwreck right where he wants to be. Goes to the outside. He's got 24 pushing him. Pushes good square out of the groove. Tires are starting to come into this race as a huge factor now. 13 car below the yellow line comes back up. And our leader, no numbers, really trying to just hold out here. In this segment of the race, it's been hard to hold the lead for more than a couple of laps, and he's been doing it, though. We've got Chris Bald-Paul up behind him, though, who is hungry for this win, as you can tell. Trainwreck as well, comes back from penalty. Up to the front. Everybody's single file right now, but now we see another line starting to make moves. And here comes a couple of big moves are going to be made in this corner, I bet. 4 car gets to the inside. Chris Bald-Paul to the point. And here we come to 5 laps to go in a 300-mile race. It has been a journey. Longest race on the Jackal season on the longest track, longest oval track. And this has just not failed whatsoever to deliver. As Trainwreck gets a good push from the 13. Not going to be able to do anything with it, though. As they're 3 wide for second. 4 car's going to have some choices to make about which line he chooses coming out of this corner. He's got the 24 high, 13 low, pretty far back. He's going to come up to the wall, nearly blocks 24 into the wall. 13 makes a move to the high side. 2 lanes, hugging on each other right now. 13 feints a move down, the 4 car goes down to block. 24 on the outside, oh, and the 13 goes around, hits the wall, keeps it straight enough to keep some momentum up. And the 24 car now of Zane DeTrain makes an outside lane move for the lead. It's going to be 4 to go this time. Coming right down to it, folks. Zane DeTrain holds the lead. 3 to go as they cross the line. Sorry, 4 to go as they cross the line. And we're inside 15 miles now. Goes to the high side. Remy now on the bottom with some help from the 28. Going to get back to the lead. They're going to be 3 wide for it for a moment here. 24 car was running that high side to make a pass earlier, but he's not going to be able to contend with the draft here. They go 3 wide. Now there's 2 big lanes. Got a car in the grass at the back of the field. It's 8K Isaiah. Commander Remy's going to get up almost to the 4 car. The 4 car does hold it, though. Now Remy's trying to battle back on the bottom. He's going to do so. 3 wide pass for the lead, coming to 3 laps to go. See which one of these guys sticks it out. The 41. That's Joel Musta back up to the front of the pack. He's been, oh no, they're wrecking. And what a save by Remy, but another car around. Almost, no, he saves it as well. Now Joel Musa takes the point. They're 4 wide in the pack. I don't know if they'll make it to the 2 to go. The way they're racing. B. Colby gets checked out of line. They're 3 wide for last. Or not last, but last car in the group, excuse me. Now Joel Musa going down, trying to break up the draft, it looks like. Swerving all over the place, doing the Indy Snake. No one else goes for it, though. Tries to cheat him down low a little bit. Now he's going to get pushed out of the groove by Good Square. He's actually going to be able to hold it, though. After a push from Good Square pushes him up a little bit. They're 3 wide still for pretty much every position but first. Joel now, oh, we got another car spinning almost. It's a 4 car. Comes back down, door bangs the car that almost sent him out of the groove. And now this is just incredible. Going to be 2 to go as they cross the line. The tri-oval here is just so big. It's hard to put it in scale. It is like a whole mile-long tri-oval. It is an incredibly long run off of turn 4 to the start-finish line. It is much longer than Talladega or Daytona's. Now Good Square, just trying to get up to the lead. Joel Musa fainting below the line there. don't know how legal it is to use that to your advantage, breaking up the draft by going down there. Here comes Trainwreck with a big push to Good Square. He's able to handle it. And we got a car on the wall. And they're going to save it. Coming to the white flag, 1 lap to go. Here in Jackal Racing, Joel Musa made a great pit call earlier. Now he's trying to hang on to that lead. Good Square, one of the best there is in the business, trying to run him down. Coming through the trial over here at Tampa Bay. White flag is going to be out. And they have made it to the white flag. It's going to be a mad dash to the checkered now. 27 car. Good Square trying to get around the 41. Joel Musa doing everything he can to hold this lead. Trainwreck checks up the cars behind him. See if they can get organized enough to get a run at these front 2. They're 4 wide though. Don't know if there's going to be a run for those guys or not. As Joel Musa loses the lead to Good Square now on the inside line. They're all checked up at the back. See if there's a run coming. Blackstone Warden on the bottom is going to be pushing Joel Musa. See if there's something here for him. And everybody's just trying to send it in this final corner for positions. Good Square might be set. Here comes Joel Musa though. No real help. They got about a mile to go towards the tri-oval. Good Square trying to hold him off. Coming to the checkered flag. Looks like it's going to be Good Square unless something happens here. And there's a mad jostling in the back of the group. Good Square takes the checkered flag here at Tampa Bay. They wreck across the line. 5 wide for 4th. That is what you want to see. Good finish for Shulk and Zane. A disappointing day for Joel Musa, who had a shot to win it. Just couldn't quite get the move to work when it counted. And just an incredible finish. Good Square. They call him the GOAT for a reason. And that was just a great display there. Waited for the time to make his moves through the pack and then made them. And that's what it takes to win. He won it by 0.3 of a second, which is probably the biggest gap we saw between the leader and someone else inside the last 10 laps. And I think Joel's going to be disappointed in the way it ended, but I think that team has a lot to be proud of. The way they executed their pit game. And now we're going to get a Good Square burnout. A very familiar sight here in Jackal Racing. I mean, that race was something else. Usually there's a connotation with long races that they turn into just strategy fests. But 300 miles there, and strategy played a part. And unofficially the winner is Good Square. Good Square drives it to the scales. We're going to get an interview with Good Square here on the post-race show here on Jackal. And here he is, the Square himself. Good Square, if you can hear me.
Yeah, I can.
Alright, great win out there. great performance there in the final laps. Just talk us through the process there of about 5 to go. What was going through your head, and how exactly did you, I guess, figure out what you're going to do?
My chest was pounding like crazy. I did not expect to be this far up by the end of the race because I was lagging like crazy at the first half. But then I was just like I guess playing it cool. I guess not. I didn't go for like first place too early, so I just waited for like so I just waited for turn 1, 2 where I can just try getting under or around Joel.
Mm-hmm.
I did it, and then it worked out.
I mean, I didn't think you were going to win this race. Honestly, it seemed like you were shuffled back there, and
yes, I did not think that either.
The timing of the moves were just great.
Yeah.
I mean, that was just really good. I gotta appreciate that. Now, Joel, you gotta commend him though. The pit call that he made. Do you think that the entire group made a bad pit call, or he just made a good pit call to get up there around halfway with his teammate to be leading the race after they'd been running at the very back?
Yeah, I knew he was gonna like undercut us the moment he pit that early, so I knew he was gonna be like a couple seconds ahead. But I just tried to go like to the certain like I guess distance where I'm for sure good on fuel.
Mm-hmm.
But then the caution came out and it leveled everyone.
Yeah, I mean, there is a lot of wrecks in this race, and 300 miles.
Yeah.
That's the second longest road race I've ever seen by, like, mileage race. And, I mean, that was some incredible racing there. We saw multiple different kinds of racing in the race. Did you enjoy the track? Because a couple people were complaining about the track being terrible because they wrecked. Did you enjoy the track, personally?
Other than when I got wrecked, of course. It was fun racing, honestly. Especially, like, especially when the track starts to not become full throttle, the more your tires went down. That was like fun to manage as well.
Yeah, I mean, it was just an amazing race to watch. Anything else you want to say? I mean, what more can there be said? Good Square won a Jackal race. I mean, it's kind of it's almost a trope at this point. You're really damn good. Anything you'd like to say to the people watching?
Hopefully my bad luck streak's over. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that was a great win there, and, yeah, I mean, there's a reason people call you the GOAT. Now, I'm actually curious, you've probably already announced this or not, because people in chat were asking, and I didn't have a color guide to check. Is this your last season in Jackal, or?
Most likely yes, but it's not decided if I'm gonna either not race at all, or I'm just gonna do part-time.
Alright.
But I know for sure I'm not gonna do another full-time season.
I mean, it's a great career, you know, and that was a great display there. Is there anyone you'd like to thank on the racing side of things for helping you there with any pushes or anything, or?
I say, I guess, thanks to my teammates at some points in the race, just like, I guess, helping us all get up there at some points. And I guess, yeah, keeping it clean on the last 3 laps. Like, for everyone, keeping clean on the last 3 laps, for me at least.
Yeah, I mean, that was good. I mean, the racing, it seemed like the teams didn't matter quite as much as Daytona did. You know?
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, it certainly seemed like it was more... How do you say this? Because there was more skill. I don't want to say skill, but there was more off-throttle time, right?
Yeah.
Involved. So it was a little bit less important to have the great pushes and all that, and have the teammates. I mean, there was some tandem drafting in the mid part of the race, which was really fun to watch, but overall,
yes.
I feel like it was a really interesting race, you know, Good Square. And
yeah.
Yeah. A good win, dude. Anything else you'd like to say before I move you back?
I think that would be all for today.
All right, yeah. Congratulations, Good Square, on the win. People, that is Good Square. Great driver. I'm moving him back into the other channel. We're going to get Joel Musa now. I'm going to drag him in. All right, I've dragged Joel in. Joel, can you hear me? Did you even hear me? We're going to try and get Joel Musa in for an interview, but that was just a great race there, you know. It was... There we go. We got Joel Musa. Hello, Joel.
What is good?
All right. I'd like you to walk me through that pit call y'all made, because that undercut was... It was a gamble, but it ended up paying off because of the issues they had entering pit road. How did that factor into you getting second place at the end of the day?
Well, I don't really know how to explain it, but that track position that I got at that gave me a bit confidence to go for moves I normally wouldn't have gone for, and I don't know, the pit call itself was risky, as you said, because if a caution didn't come out, then we would have been screwed on fuel, and bad tires, we would have just gotten blown by, so yeah, it affected the finish, where I finished a lot.
I mean, at the end there, you probably thought you had a chance to win this race coming to 5 to go. On the last lap, what exactly happened there to make you give up the lead to Good Square? You just get loose, get tight? What happened there to have you give up the space? Let him by.
Well, I clipped the apron coming into, I think it was 2? No, it was 1. And then Good Square just gave me a bump, and I slid up the track by like 1 car's length, and that was enough for him to slide right under me. Yeah. I
mean, you and Baseball Freak worked together really well this race, I noticed.
Yeah, I mean, he is my team boss, so.
Yeah, I was going to say, this is a good day for that team, I assume, because y'all really executed out there. I mean, at the end, it came down to, just plate racing and last lap shenanigans, but do you figure that you guys are going to be a strong plate team going forward?
Oh, well, I'm not sure about plate team, but overall, I think we're one of the better teams because we were on a 3-race winning streak as a team before this race.
Pretty strong, yeah. I haven't been here for like the last 5 races, so I didn't know that, so thank you. But, I mean, just, you raced, it was really fun watching. I'm not going to lie, I'm usually not a terribly biased commentator, but I wanted you to win, man.
Damn.
I was rooting for you. I thought that pit call was great. Reminds me of the stuff I do on NR,
Yep.
Now, did you guys think the pit call was going to work? Because that was a risky pit call, man. That was, if they didn't have the issues coming into pit road, or you didn't get the caution, you would have been screwed. So what made you think, let's screw it and just do this huge undercut?
Well, first off, when I got loose in turn 1, again, turn 1, always a problem. But yeah, I got lost tire wear and I couldn't keep up, so that factored in. I was like, yeah, I gotta pit, I gotta go for an undercut, or nothing's gonna come out of this. And I just went for it, of course, but I don't think my teammate really expected it to work, but it ended up working. I had confidence it was going to work because with the way they were racing so aggressively, I was pretty confident that caution was going to come out.
All right. You got anything else you want to say?
Well, shout out to my team boss. That's all I got to say.
All right. Well, that's Joel Musa, 2nd place today here at Tampa Bay Super Speedway. Really good race. And, that was just a real fun one to watch. Now, we're going to try and move someone else in possibly here on the post-race show. 8K Isaiah wants to be interviewed. Let's get 8K in here. He really wants to be interviewed. We'll ask him some hard questions. 8K Isaiah is here. Isaiah, you want to be interviewed despite finishing not great. So what do you want to talk about so much, buddy? How'd you execute out there? Yeah. It was really fun watching it. I mean, it was... Guys put on a great show out there. Do you have any... Did you think late in the race you had a chance to win it? Because you got up towards the front a couple of times.
But then Icky helped me like the 3 to go. And then I got up there, but I got forced wide on the final lap on the backstretch, and then I was just stuck up there. But I hopefully, sadly, could have gotten a top 3, I hope, or top 5.
Yeah, I mean, it was a good show, really good show. Do you think they should do more of these 300-mile races?
At least 2 per season would probably be good. Just like having fun, or maybe the exhibition race. But I think it's a dirt track. I don't remember. The exhibition race, like it could be a huge track, but we don't know yet. It would be a pretty cool track to race at again, but yeah.
I mean, it certainly was a very entertaining race, and I mean, you heard it here first. The drivers apparently like races that take 3 hours to complete. Anything else you'd like to say? Anyone you want to call out? I mean, we haven't had any drama on the interviews this week.
Good Square. He's a good driver. I agree with Lit, the next Jeff Gordon of Jackal. Blackstone, he's funny. He helped me during the race. Remy, everyone basically helped. I just want to say sorry to Shulk. I dumped him on accident. I don't remember what lap, but yeah. That's about it.
Now, Trainwreck had a penalty, correct? I just...
Yep.
I remember that penalty. What was... I don't think we had a soundbite of his reaction to the penalty. How salty was he? I assume very salty.
He was arguing in the chat the entire time.
I saw that, yeah. And do you think the penalty was fair?
I really didn't get a good look on it because I think I was still on track focusing on myself, but from the looks of it, I think he either sped into pit road or either he got pushed into pit road. He's been saying he probably got pushed, but I don't know.
There was a huge stack up. That's actually what got you. I mean, that's what made your undercut actually work, was the fact there was a huge stack up entering pit road. There were 4 wide. The 4 cars spun and he sped. Trainwreck did. So it ended up being a big cock up there. You know? So that ended up really helping you. Is there anything else you'd like to note on the race?
The race was actually... I was expecting it to go faster, but I didn't notice how big the track was until we actually started racing.
Now, I forget, did you also do an undercut, or were you not? Because I remember you were out. Was it you, or was it Colby, who was out of the group and also did an undercut, but it didn't work out like Moose's did?
I did. Because I pit before I was lapped, and then I slowed down for the field, and then a caution came out. And so I was basically set, so I didn't have to pit.
All right. I was curious if you did an undercut too, because I knew it was either you or Colby. Like, one of the guys at the back did an undercut that was separate from the one that ended up working so well for baseball and Joel.
Yeah, it was Colby because he didn't pit because he was still trying to get his laps back, I believe.
I mean, just a crazy race. Thanks for the interview with the 7th place driver who didn't do very much. All right. I believe that's all we're going to have time for on the interviews. So now we're going to hit you with the outro. Thank you so much for watching Jackal on Jackal. I'm AJ Schlotterbeck. That was a heck of a race. Really fun to watch. I mean, just a real fun time for everyone involved. We saw a lot of different kinds of racing today. We saw pack racing, intermediate style racing, the tandem draft, like, you know, COT era kind of stuff. And all in all, I think it was a very complete race. Pretty much everything you'd want as a stock car fan. And a very legitimate winner. Good square. One of the best. Once again, proving why he's considered that. And I think that this is something that a lot of teams will think that they can build upon, the performances they had in this race. Because there's a lot of teams that made good moves out there. Isaiah, you know, able to get back up there. Baseball and Joel Musa made some great moves. And, of course, Extreme Motorsports can always build on what they're doing because they are just really good. Thank you so much for watching. And we will see you at the next Jackal race. I'm AJ Schlotterbeck. And for Cole and Stampy, have a nice day.